It don't matter the color
May
of the
be closing
skin,
in on a
either
suspect
woman
in the
or
case of
man,
missing
just let the
13-year-old
case
NAZIYAH
land.
Harris.
13-year-old disappeared. It was back in January, and then Detroit's top cop is now vowing that this case has not gone cold. Meantime, we have learned Naziya's father has passed away. Jacqueline Francis is talking with a close friend of the family about where things stand tonight. Jacqueline?
Karen, as we told you yesterday, a warrant request has been submitted to the county prosecutor's office. Now, police can't say who they're looking into, but they did say to expect an update soon.
Yeah, so she was a fun-loving girl. They got a lot of time to spend time together. He always talked about ice cream trucks and her riding a bike. And
when NAZIYAH Harris went missing in January, it just so happened her dad's longtime friend, Tamara Smith, was on the board of police commissioners. Last month, NAZIYAH's dad died from heart failure.
He was already sick, but this took him over the edge. With all the might in his body, he was out every day searching, looking, doing as much as he could to bring awareness and to bring his baby home.
Just weeks after her dad's death, Police Chief James White says they're closing in on a lead.
We are prepared very soon to make an announcement on this case.
13-year-old NAZIYAH was last seen in January, getting off the school bus in the area of Cornwall Street and 3 Mile Drive on Detroit's east side. Since then, there have been multiple police searches, but no trace of the young teen who police believe is dead.
What I can tell you is that it's not going to be the desired outcome that any of us want. And I have to stop there. As a matter of fact, will probably start ringing my phone here in a minute.
As police inch closer to closing this case, Smith is urging the public to be patient, especially those taking matters into their own hands, conducting unauthorized searches of their own.
I would not say that you should be going in vacant houses and trespassing and making things worse, because you don't want to compromise the integrity of the case.
So right now, the prosecutor's office is looking over that warrant request. If they choose to authorize it, we could know a whole lot more very soon. We'll stay on it. Reporting live from Detroit Police Headquarters.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. So we're going to be talking about NAZIYAH Harris. I want to go over some case information. We're going to do some statement and case analysis. So it's just, we're going to go over the final findings. And I don't think I played all of this on my channel. Also, we talking about stranger danger and how it appears that they allow strange men to move into their home. Because we have to remember, like, Marquita's boyfriend, he spoke on a show, and I'm going to bring up his interview as well as the teacher and the lunch lady. I believe that the teacher and the lunch lady is the same person. Okay. The teacher and the lunch lady is the same person, because I remember her saying that she had worked for the school for years and she goes back and forth when somebody is not there. So then that makes me think, well, dang, it's like you're seeing this one person twice, and she was the teacher that day. So when we think about what happened in this case or what didn't happen in this case, we got to go back to the people that was the one, number one, the ones that was responsible for her first of all, but secondly, the people that were in charge of the investigation. So the two people that I'm looking at specifically, the grandmother who said that she dropped NAZIYAH off that morning, she said she dropped her off along with the other kids, right? So why didn't she go back and pick her up? Why was it done differently? Because at first she said she picks up and dropped them all off at school. So why did NAZIYAH catch the bus home that day? Because so I'm going to just go over, first of all, let's look at the lie that the grandmother told, or okay, I don't know which one to believe. Okay, I'm talking about the guy. Let me just let him speak for himself. This guy.
And you said you met with Miss Annette Harris on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's of January 2024?
January, yes.
That was early in the morning?
Around between 11 and 12.
And you said you met with Miss Annette Harris on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's of January 2024?
January, yes.
Okay, so we heard what time he just said, right? He just said 11 or 12. And I remember that really stuck out to me because I remembered what the grandmother said. So he was the first person that she allegedly talked to when she got to the school. So these were the first two people that are crucial in this case, especially the grandmother. She lived with her, all that. But I'm just saying, these are the first two people to know about what's going on with NAZIYAH, and they give the case to this guy that is retiring, who actually had already checked out. You see what I'm saying? According to what he said. Now, he said that she got there, what, 11 or 12, but this is what she said on the stand.
School starts at 7:30, so I got there at 7:30. They got there about, I don't know, maybe 8.
And you said you met with Miss Annette Harris on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's of January 2024?
January, yes.
That was early in the morning?
Around between 11 and 12.
And you said you met with Miss...
Okay, so we can't even get the time straight that she went. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do we believe, though? Let me do a poll, because who do we believe? Because this guy, the way that he behaved, man, the way that he didn't give a damn, he couldn't have cared less. As a matter of fact, I mean, damn, he cared less than anybody of the case, because, and he didn't appear to have a problem with caring less either. So let me just point out a couple of the things that he had to say as the first person to get this case.
Who did you speak to?
I can't recall that. We didn't find anything.
In her classroom, does she have a locker or a cubby or anything where she stores items?
I can't answer that question.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Fair to say then that you didn't check.
I may have, but I can't recall right now because it's been such a long time.
Is there a report that documents whether you did or not?
No. I went back to the station, advised the lieutenant of what we came up with.
Which was what?
Which was, I talked to the parent, the grandparent, talked to a couple of students. We didn't find anything from doing our search of the area.
So did you do anything else in regards to investigating?
No, I did not, because I was getting ready to retire, so I was done. If someone else's investigation would have took over, besides me, because once again I was leaving, but I gave all the information that I had along with my run sheet as well. So.
And are you aware of what happened after that?
No.
Okay.
Who did you speak to?
I can't recall that.
In her classroom, does she have a locker or a cubby or anything where she stores items?
I can't answer that question.
So did you do anything else in regards to investigating?
No, I did not, because I was getting ready to retire, so I was done.
And how long did you stay involved in the investigation?
That day.
Okay.
If someone else's investigation would have took over, besides me, because once again I was leaving, but I gave all the information that I had along with my run sheet as well. So.
And are you aware of what happened after that?
No.
Okay.
In her classroom, does she have a locker or a cubby or anything? Did you speak with the teacher who was in NAZIYAH's classroom on the 9th of January?
No.
Did you speak with any of NAZIYAH's known friends?
In the investigation, yes.
You did. Who did you speak to?
I can't recall that.
Did you speak with the teacher who was in NAZIYAH's classroom on the 9th of January?
No.
Did you speak?
This is sad. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is the guy that was supposed to get the information and let everybody know what was up, you know. But this dude was already done. It's the shrugging of the shoulders for me. It's the lack of concern for me. I don't give a damn that it was his last day of work. This should have never freaking happened. Period. It should have never happened. It should have never been given to him. And he acted just like a person would act on their last day. Man, I don't give a damn. But this is somebody's life. Welcome in, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. Man, listen, what do y'all think about this guy? So shout out to BFF. So, in his wife, I'm his wife, 11. Hey, make this go viral. How are you? I'm doing good. Thank you so much for tuning in. How you doing today? Shout out to Goddess. Welcome in. Shout out to Alma. She said he didn't care. He really didn't. I'm talking about, I don't think this man could have cared less. He was done. He was done. before he even got started. Shout out to Debo in the building. So he said, or she said, I think he possibly NAZIYAH's grandmother's friend. Regardless of the 24-hour rule, she should have went to the police station. His statement contradicting. She definitely should have went to the police station, and I just feel like she knew exactly what she was doing. She said lock him up for perjury. What did he contradict? Which statement are you talking about? He was just, the dude is just horrible to me. Like, but why would you, he shouldn't even came to work that day if he had that dang on attitude. And Alma said what little info he had was on a desk and it sat there for a month. Exactly. Like, what happened? So he handed it to somebody after that. Obviously, they didn't do anything. He was only involved that day. So, okay. But he was the one that was supposed to do the investigative work first. You know, get all these statements and write this down and that down. And this dude didn't write a dang on thing down. Welcome in, East Dad. What the heck is going on with my computer? Verifying the update. I hope y'all can still hear me. The computer just did something weird. Okay, so I just wanted to play that first of all, because this is where you know, the case just started off jacked up. And so the other thing I was talking about is in the beginning, I remember we were talking about how did they meet? How do y'all think that they met? Because I go back to like Marquita's boyfriend. If I remember correctly, he said that he met Marquita on a dating app. And he also said that he had been with both of them. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to his statements. I'm gonna go back to his statements and listen in. I heard this one time. I just want to go back to this and see what we can get. Because I think that's what he said. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Where he had talked to a content creator and he literally, oh, you can hear me. Okay. I'm good. Thank you. Did he pick up the tablets? I don't know if no, he wasn't the one that picked up the tablets. It was Officer Gardner that picked up the tablets, and it wasn't immediately, but he like said they canvassed the area and got looking for surveillance cameras and talking to people. But here's my thing. He didn't talk to the most important person, and that would be the teacher. He never even talked to her teacher, the lady that taught her that day. And so we gonna go to that too. First thing, let me go to where he was talking at. Hold on. And shout out to Brittany Ann. Let's see what he
said. She goes to the casino because I don't see that. She is money hungry. I say that. She's money hungry. And a lot of stuff that everybody else is finding out, I'm finding out. But I'm able to put like 2 and 2 together because I get to see certain stuff that was in my face that I probably didn't recognize at that time. Now I can recognize because I.
Have y'all heard this interview? I'm gonna cut my music all the way down because he was talking kind of low. Let me know if y'all can hear this okay. He was talking kind of low because they were in the house with him. And this is the guy, it's actually in a video on my page that he did a walkthrough to show that he wasn't lying. And he actually had both of them in the house at that time. This was a couple months ago. And this was prior to them going to the residence of the landlord being arrested and all of that.
I do remember when I first met them, Jarvis would pull up. And yeah, he'll come in sometimes he don't, but yeah, he will come in. And when the times he didn't come in, the kids would run out there. So he got 5 kids with him, so they all would run out there. But then NAZIYAH would go out there too. And I asked the one I was dating, I asked her, I said, why did NAZIYAH go out there? Like, that ain't her dad. But it kind of like went over my head. I just threw it out there. And to me, it seemed like maybe they tried to do better at hiding it because I'm a nosy person. Especially being that I opened my mouth and said, why is NAZIYAH going out there? It's like they probably cracked down on it. The reason why it kind of went over my head.
So if they met him on a dating app, right? This guy, and I think he's gonna say it here, but we gotta listen at it again. But if they met him on a dating app, then it is not too far-fetched that they could have met Jarvis by writing letters. Y'all do know that there are women in this world that will go and write a man in prison in a heartbeat and be his pen pal. That's why Jarvis got a whole, and I don't know if he really been getting letters, but I heard that Jarvis has a whole fan club on social media somewhere. I think it's TikTok. I haven't ran across any of the messages, but I heard that he has a whole fan club. I think I did read one of them. I think BFF sent me something, but so I'm just trying to figure out if they met Jarvis on a dating app or if they met him off of in prison, because if their qualification is that they want you to be a SO, then that's where they would go. They would know for sure. Oh, this guy does this. They can go to the jail photos and be like, oh, he look good. What he in here for? Okay, let's start writing him. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous to me, but it could be true. If you doing the dating app thing, because the dating app thing is not to be trusted. It's very dangerous. You got a lot of people on there just trying to get over. So you got people linking up with people on these dating apps just to get them robbed. You got people doing all kind of stuff on these dating apps. I mean, I've reported crime about this, but I just wonder, where did they meet? Dating site or the dang on prison, and they just start writing this dude? Or did the grandmother meet him somewhere? Because Jarvis literally got out of prison and got right with Shannon, pretty much.
When I first met Jarvis, I just got this feeling like there's something about you I don't like. I could never pinpoint it because I didn't know, but I just had a feeling every time I seen him. We even got into it a couple of times, and I'm just like, dang, maybe I should have just whooped on him. But it was just always something. I could never put it together. Never put it together, but now it's like, yeah, y'all taking up for him. Y'all still taking up for him. It's like, what's wrong with y'all?
So how did the other twin, I mean, do she, I don't want to say, does she talk? Is her and, well, I'm sure they're close, but after all of this, are they still close, or they just, like, have she,
she come over here now.
Now, I don't know how old Annette is. I haven't heard her age being said. I guess they didn't. Did they not ask her in court? Because they asked. I remember them asking everybody else. I don't think I heard them ask her age.
She's in the front room, dining room, smoking right now. Already, did we not talking for real, because I already told her I'm tired of your sister coming over here. There's too much crap going on. I already got to deal with yours, like your mess. But your sister coming over here, and then it's like I feel like she doing that to hide out because low key, CPS got a little bit in their business, and she was over here at my house, and her mama called her, and they over here schooling each other on what Shannon should say to CPS when they call her.
See, so this is the first guy that I heard that CPS was in their business. And like I said, this was 2 months ago. Let me see the date. This was actually January 23rd of this year.
It's like, yeah, y'all up to something. Get out my house with that. Like, I don't want to even be a part of it.
They say their age?
At all. I ain't say this to their face, but it's like, I made it known that, like, you gotta go. Bring your kids over here.
Yeah, I believe this guy. I definitely believe him. Like, people was talking about him too, though, because they was like, well, number one, he seemed timid at the time. He was people was in the chat like, blink twice if you need some help and stuff like that, because he was just like in a room. They was downstairs. I got a video, it shows them. They was downstairs with their heads down. Just they didn't even look up when he came down the steps. And they was just looking at social media, looking at all the people talk about the case and talking about them.
Our land, we live above our landlord, so it's like you got extra noise, and then you in and out of our house, like people ain't trying to beat on you and shit. I don't need nobody thinking you live here. I already got to worry about her, and she a twin at that, so it's like.
I mean, it's a high profile case. I mean, everybody probably watching, and
they let these kids do whatever they want.
Y'all hear that?
That's why there's so many pictures, videos of Brooklyn on her mama page, because she just constantly on the page, dancing, doing stuff. And it's like, I asked her one time, I'm like, do you at least watch and monitor your page? I'm like, I know she on your page, putting it on your page, but you gotta watch and monitor to look at who liking these pages. If it ain't family members, you need to kind of look at that. And you need to tell her that she don't need to be doing that. They kind of crack down on it, but she doesn't get on her kids like she's supposed to. They still do what they gonna do. And then me being like not a father to them, they don't listen to me. So it ain't like I really got to say so and stuff. We get into it. The kids lied on me before, so it's like I really keep my distance.
Now I wonder what the kids lied on him about. That's strange. What did they lie on him about? And the other thing is that he said that he lived with them. And so it's like Annette just let strange men move into their house. Like, because how well did she know him? How long did they date before he moved in? And then they decided to get a place together because Marquita was living with her mother. So she got a place with this guy. They got a place together. And he was sounding like, shoot, he really couldn't afford to live on his own. And he wanted to hold on to her for a place to stay. Basically, it sounded like he was just in a bad situation. I know he wishes he never met them. Okay. And then he tells us that he been with both of them. So it's just like, it's like if one get a man, we got a man. It ain't your man, it's our man. Like, what? So are they with each other also? That's what's popping up.
Like, I'm really a nice guy. Like, I work not too far from my house, so I'm either at work or at home.
I didn't even want to say it, BFF. It couldn't even come out right. But are they? Like, if you share everything, they twinning everything, okay? Twinkies. They eating everything. They eat together, okay? Everything.
And for all kind of stuff, and it's like, do you see yourself? Do you see me? Like, I'm trying not to care about certain shit, but then now I'm just like to the point where, yeah, I was stupid for even talking to you. For one.
So why?
Well, for one, I can't just like kick her the fuck out. It take time for, even though I'm kind of thinking of a plan to just move out on my own, but I'm really comfortable where I'm at because I literally work 4 blocks from my house, so I can work and literally walk to work. She stays on the east side. I'm all.
Y'all, please support great content by sending a Cash App this time. To my Cash App is right there, and I greatly appreciate it. Anything you have, $2, $5, whatever. Support great content, y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in.
Always been a west side, so in my mind, I'm like, she can go back where she came from because we're on the west side, you know. But I pay all the bills, so you might as well just go on about the business.
Now, he just said he paid all the bills. Was it supposed to be that?
Like, for real, because I don't even want to be seen with you. I don't. It's like the way I feel about the situation. I'm with the people. They sound exactly right, and then what I'm seeing in my face feels like everybody is right about y'all. Like y'all are too sneaky, and it's happening right in my face. I don't like it.
Wait, he was about to say something, Amma? I missed it. Dang, what did he say? What was he about to say, you think? Let me go back a little bit. Pay a little bit more close.
Went over my head. When I first met Jarvis, I just got this feeling like there's something about you I don't like. I could never pinpoint it because I didn't know, but I just had a feeling every time I seen him. We even got into it a couple of times, and I'm just like, dang, maybe I should have just whooped on him. But it was just always something I could never.
Gina said all they had to do was smile, and the key was given. Just pay me any attention, and you in. Like, it ain't no requirements. Hey, welcome in. Joy comes in the morning. She said, just tapping in. V, I've been watching the coverage on the girl in Toledo who was found yesterday. I seen that, Joy, and I'm definitely gonna look into that case. I seen that, and I seen that they arrested the grandmother. So I don't know if that was a mistake. Like, how is the grandmother involved? I haven't really looked into it like that yet. So I don't know. I don't know how the grandmother got arrested and all of that. Like, that was a throw off. But that poor girl, we definitely gonna be talking about that. It was given, you can have fun tonight because my jaw tired. Thank you so much, BFF. Oh, thank you for Gina, the seasoned styler. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. Shout out to you. I really appreciate that. Hold on, let me play a little jingle for you. Let's go. Shout out to you. Let's go. Shout out to you. Let's go. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go.
Put it together. We never put it together, but
welcome in, Shauna.
Nah, it's like, yeah, y'all taking up for him. Y'all still taking up for him. It's like, what's wrong with y'all?
So how did the other twin? I mean, does she?
I don't do email, but I do have IG DM. If you're on IG, if you want to send me something, you could text it to this phone too. If you got something to send me, you could send it straight to the phone. BFF will drop the number.
I don't want to say, does she talk, or is her and well, I'm sure they're close, but after all of this, are they still close, or they just
weak as
like
hell?
have she the bet? Oh,
she come over here now. Like she's in the front room, dining room, smoking right now. Already did we not talking for real, because I already told her I'm tired of your sister coming over here. There's too much crap going on. I already got to deal with yours, like your mess. But your sister coming over here, and then it's like I feel like she doing that to hide out because low key CPS got a little bit in their business, and she was over here at my house, and her mama.
There's a number, Joy. Thank you, BFF.
They over here schooling each other on what Shannon should say to CPS when they call her. So it's like, yeah, y'all up to something. Get out of my house with that. Like I don't want to even be a part of it. Like, at all. I ain't say this to their face, but it's like I made it known that like you gotta go. Bring your kids over here. We live above our landlord, so it's like you got extra noise, and then you in and out of our house. Like people ain't trying to beat on you and shit. I don't need nobody thinking you live here. I already got to worry about her, and she a twin at that. So it's like,
I mean, it's a high profile case. I mean, everybody probably watching, and
they let these kids do whatever they want. That's why so many pictures, videos of Brooklyn on her mama page, because she just constantly on the page, dancing, doing stuff. And it's like, I asked her one time, I'm like, do you at least watch and monitor your page? I'm like, I know she on your page, putting it on your page, but you gotta watch and monitor to look at who liking these pages. If it ain't family members, you need to kind of look at that. And you need to tell her that she don't need to be doing that. They kind of crack down on it, but she doesn't get on her kids like she's supposed to. They still do what they gonna do. And then me being like not a father to them, they don't listen to me. So it ain't like I really got to say so and stuff. We get into it. The kids and lied on me before, so it's like I really keep my distance. So like I'm really a nice guy. Like I work not too far from my house, so
I question anybody that call themselves a nice guy, and then I wonder what did the kids lie about. That's very interesting.
At work or at home. And then I get blamed for all kind of stuff, and it's like, do you see yourself? Do you see me? Like I'm trying not to care about certain shit, but then now I'm just like to the point where, yeah, I was stupid for even talking to you for one.
So why?
Well, for one, I can't just like kick her the fuck out. It take time for, even though I'm kind of thinking of a plan to just move out on my own, but I'm really comfortable where I'm at because I literally work 4 blocks from my house, so I can work and literally walk to work. She stays on the east side. I'm always been on the west side, so in my mind, I'm like, she can go back where she came from because we're on the west side, you know. But I pay all the bills, so you might as well just go on about the business. Like, for real, because I don't even want to be seen with you. I don't. It's like the way I feel about the situation. I'm with the people. They sound exactly right, and then what I'm seeing in my face feels like everybody is right about y'all. Like y'all are too sneaky, and it's happening right in my face. I don't like it.
I'm gonna put up Marquita's
text. Her baby daddy is not lying. He is not lying because, like I was saying, I was going through hard times when I met her. That was my first time doing the dating app thing.
See,
I was like, let me find
dating app.
Need me somebody, so I tried to meet somebody. Ran into her. When I meet her in the wintertime, I started like kind of staying over there more than I was staying at my own place.
When he met her in the wintertime, he started staying over there more than his own place. And now, mind you, she lives with her mother, with CPS kids, her kids, and all this. She didn't know this man from Adam. This is what I'm talking about.
And then we kind of got serious, and I was like, well, let's get a place together. You know, it took about a year plus some for us to get a place together.
A year plus, or was they staying with a net for this whole year plus while they was waiting to get the money for their place?
But we kind of moved fast, but I was in that mind state.
He said we kind of move fast.
Anyway, I'm trying to get me a place of my own. If you're trying to work with me, you know, I was in that mode.
So he was in getting a roommate to help pay them bills. So it sounded like he was desperate to move into his own place, and he found somebody else that was down to move to because she was desperate as well. I mean, are y'all getting that from him? Because that's what I'm getting. I was in a desperate situation and I just went on. She was down. I was down. Like, let's save some money, move in together. We don't know each other from Adam, but we doing this anyway. That's crazy.
Just let's work together. If you want to work together, I see that you work. You know, I was in that situation, so we ended up doing that. But now,
yeah, if you talking about Shannon, I'm assuming her last baby was his. That I think, yeah, all her kids are supposed to be his. You know, she always say that. Are you talking about Marquita or Shannon, because Alma says, so was her last baby from Jarvis? Which one? We talking about Marquita or Shannon? If you talking about Shannon, yes, all her kids by Jarvis.
It's like, it's too much.
Yep.
It's too much.
That's crazy though. Like he said, hold on, let's take it a smidgen back. I want to hear that one part. Let's see if it's back far enough.
Situation. I'm with the people. They sound exactly right, and then what I'm seeing in my face feels like everybody is right about y'all. Like y'all are too sneaky.
That's crazy.
It's happening right in my face. I don't like it.
Is the requirement to get us a man? I just feel like, me for one, I mean, I know some people do the day nap thing. Me, I'm scared to do it. I wouldn't do it because it's bad people on there that goes on there hoping to find a fool. You know what I'm saying? Then there's even females on there setting dudes up. Oh, meet me here, and you get there and there's 6 dudes waiting on you. Like, I don't trust it. I don't trust people anywhere where they know they can go, and there's people desperately looking for somebody. They gonna take it. So you got some people that might be on there for the good, but either way, to me, it's a form of desperado. I'm just, to me. Meet them in person so you can see them. Shoot, see who they around.
But her baby daddy is not lying. He is not lying because, like I was saying, I was going through hard times when I met her. That was my first time doing the dating app thing. I was like, let me meet me somebody. So I tried.
He said he was going through hard times and he used the dating app and he like, let me meet another desperate person that's going through something too. We could make a nickel out of 2 pennies.
I need somebody ran into her. When I meet her in the wintertime, I started like kind of staying over there more than I was staying at my own place.
Literally, I mean, right away, y'all hear this? Y'all hear? This is why I got the title of Stranger Danger. They did not know this man, and they let this man move in a house with all these kids.
And then we kind of got serious, and I was like, well, let's get a place together. You know, it took about a year plus some for us to get a place together, but we kind of moved fast. But I was in that mind state anyway. I'm like, I'm trying to get me a place of my own. If you're trying to work with me, you know, I was in that mode of just, let's work together. If you want to work together, I see that you work. You know, I was in that situation, so we ended up doing that. But now it's like, it's too much. It's too.
Gina said it's been a long time since she's seen a family of everybody with no damn brain. Like, how does this happen? They all sharing the same pea brain or what?
Much.
I don't know, Gina.
But yeah, when they first came up missing, when she first came up missing, that's what they try to put it off as, is missing. But she never once got up, went to the east side. She only went to the east side for work.
Yeah, key information right here. This is key. And I thought I put Marquita's text in here because I did find it. I had been talking about it for the longest, but I didn't put it in here. But here's a message that they had text, and they found this to be funny. Somebody said they thought it was funny. Just throw the whole family away. These people are beyond evil and deserve to be in jail with him. I'm so sorry, NAZIYAH. May you rest in peace, baby girl. And that was October 3rd or 2nd of 2024. But what it was, I think this is where Roxy's mom texted something. She said something and then they laughed about it. Let me move this out the way. So she said the twins, as I hear it, there's a Chester, the dang, yeah, we know, like Jarvis, among them. And it has been confirmed by something, I can't read it else. So speak facts before running your mouth. And they laughed. That is from Kenya. Okay, and then, dang, and I'm listening to this. I'm gonna have to switch phones. We're gonna have to listen on another phone so I could put that in there. Because she definitely sent out a text clear as day talking about NAZIYAH was spotted at liquor stores and gas stations. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to have to switch.
And then that was pretty much it. I even asked her to, when you go over there, stop at your mama's house, get some flyers, bring them on the west side so we can pass them out on the west side. Nothing. And then she comes out of nowhere, puts on her Facebook talking about NAZIYAH's been spotted and stuff. And it's like, I'm looking at her, I question her about it, but I try not to question her so much about stuff because I don't want her looking at me funny. Like, I'm just so much against her when I really am.
I need the main phone.
That was pretty much it. I even asked her to, when you go over there, stop at your mama's house, get some flyers, bring them on the west side so we can pass them out on the west side. Nothing. And then she comes out of nowhere, puts on her Facebook talking about NAZIYAH's been spotted and stuff. And it's like, I'm looking at her, I question her about it, but I try not to question her so much about stuff because I don't want her looking at me funny. Like, I'm just so much against her when I really am. But it's just like, I live with you. I can't really kick you out of this house because we both live here. You know, on the land, from the landlord's paperwork, it's on both of our names. So it ain't like I could just kick her out for real, for real. But she's up to something. I'm already mad at her for what I've heard that she already did, but I know she's a part of it because she stayed with her mama, and her and her twin are so tight. Like, I know she knows something. She might not know about what happened to NAZIYAH. I give her that.
We ain't. I think she know everything that her sister do because they share everything.
But you've been in the situation of, this is the reason why this happened to NAZIYAH. Because you was there.
She was there.
It's like, I'm just trying to see what else is true because I'm kind of like everybody else almost. You know, they ain't talking to me and telling me certain stuff. They ain't gonna tell me everything. But if you think mine, I can literally walk past my living room and show you that they sitting in there.
Yeah, you gonna have to do that because
you gotta be quiet.
And that's what he did. He walked down there to show.
I'm on mute.
So, dude, like when I first heard him talking, I was like, he's very timid. Like he seemed scared of them type of thing. But he seemed like he was more tough when Mark came that day. He stood up to him a little bit more, but all of that stuff. He had an interview that day too. Dang, where is this text at? I know I seen it. I did it. My bad, y'all. He just walking around. Matter of fact, I can move it alone. He'll come right back. I didn't let it play long now. And I gotta find this text or it's gonna drive me crazy. But she definitely sent it. So he walking through right now. He just put the camera on each one of them. Shannon standing up in the doorway like where she was near where when Roxy came in. And I think it's her sister that's sitting on at the table.
They quiet. When I'm back here, they whisper.
See? So they definitely got something to hide. Like they whisper when he ain't there. When he walk by, they ain't saying a damn thing. And literally you could see him just sitting there. So they definitely was acting suspicious the whole time.
So you feel safe? I mean,
I'm a man. I feel like I can protect myself. I'm not worried.
People was in the audience going in on them and call. I don't agree with that. Like when somebody speak up and the audience be attacking the person, I don't agree with that. But they definitely did. There's like he ain't no man, and he act timid and he's scared, and but saying he wasn't a man and all that. They don't even know the dude. But and also that's why some people don't want to say nothing because they afraid that internet gonna attack them, and they definitely did. But we still got information from them.
But my landlord's downstairs. They don't play no shit.
And the landlords got all caught up in that. I'm talking about that landlord was crying her eyes out in the court proceedings. I got that too, if y'all didn't see it.
It looked like they be on the phone a lot. By who?
They do.
So you're not worried about them seeing this or seeing you talk?
No, because I'm at the point where I'm fed up with her shit. For real. Like, all the lying, all the sneakiness. I could be in the bed and she's up in the middle of the night. Her sister, whether her sister is here or not, they get up early as fuck doing it. I don't know.
They get up early as hell plotting. Okay, so did they just start getting up early, or did they used to be up early in the middle of the night doing stuff when NAZIYAH was in the house? Like, some of them times he calling like, who there, who up, and all this. Everybody. Like, when is it a time when a house full of people ain't up? Especially a house full of desperate broads like we looking at here.
Be on the phone with each other, whispering.
So
this shit's so irritating. I'm getting to the point. If you feel some type of way about me, I'm just like, so what? It's about this baby girl. Because y'all had no right doing whatever the fuck y'all was doing. I was just tired of it.
So I wonder the living situation right now. I'm assuming that Marquita is probably out of there. I mean, they ain't together no more after all of them events. I'm assuming. Hey, they could be desperation could have brought them back together, because that's what brought them together, is what I'm hearing. And Brittany Ann cracked me up because she wasn't trying to say too much.
Work, so.
They haven't been at work because they scared to go to work. Or I ain't gonna say they scared to go to work, but what I was told is because somebody had posted where they work at, because they work at the same place. But somebody posted online where they work at, so their job basically put them on like
a leave, yeah.
Yeah. So they just she been here, and Shannon just been back and forth, but mainly here, seeming like. But to me, I think it's something to that. The reason why she probably leave from her mama house and come here, I think it's something to it. But
Alma said, me neither. I don't like that. Nothing but unoccupied space between their ears. Too funny. Any dude could have been over there around them kids. Oh my God. Like, right. So we're sitting up here listening at a person that literally got taken off of a dating app and moved into the mother's home, y'all. So they very well could have just met Jarvis right in prison, because I mean he literally got out of prison, got with her baby right there. He shouldn't even. It sounds like he was released early from prison. He did 8 years instead of 10, is what it's looking like, right? And he got right with this woman. He had the right charges on his record. So now I wonder, if he cool. I'm assuming he is, since he talking, because he kind of did insert himself, because I was literally looking at this live stream when he popped up. And so he literally put himself in this. So I'm thinking his record might be good. I don't know. But at the same time, that sister, her actions to meet a man on a dating site, and he done been with both of them, is like, it was probably like a bonus thing. Like, hey, you can have, it's 2 of us. All you gotta do is pay $2.99. No, all you gotta do is pay attention to us. That's it. That's the only requirement.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's crazy.
But I don't care if they is watching this.
Absolutely.
So what?
That's the first thing they gonna do. The children are out of the household. They definitely having interviews right now, or probably back and forth. They give them some time. They give kids. I'm telling you, because I covered a case like this, and the foster parents that got arrested, it was a husband and a wife. Their children told on them. Now they interviewed their kids like 1 year, and then a year or 2 went by and interviewed them again. Their children's testimony is what got them locked up. And so it may take some time, because it take time for that Stockholm syndrome to be broken, because I think it's real strong in that household. They don't want to tell anything, even the adult children. We heard Jernell say that even adult children in the Harris home don't say nothing about their mother, knowing that something happened. Everybody, you can tell. You can just tell, man. And so, yeah, they definitely talking to those kids, and it's not a one-time thing. They have a professional to come in there and that knows how to get things out of the kids. That's why he had to stay high dealing with the Troublemint twins. That's a good one. Troublemint, not Doublemint.
So do you know anything about King, or the one that was...
No, I learned about King pretty much how y'all learned about King. I knew about a little bit about Jarvis, but they made, like, when I first met him, they did tell me about his first little interacting, but they put it off as if it was a lie, like he got lied on or whatever. And me not really, like, not paying too much attention. I'm just more trying to get in, know her and stuff. And it's like, okay.
He trying to get in good. He ain't trying to cause no problems. Like, he just trying to get in good with her. He ain't trying to get in that business about, because he said he heard it, but they said that it was a lie. Now, that's crazy. That's the first thing that they're going to say. Oh, she lied. That's not true. Yeah, it was true. A kid. Kids ain't going to lie, especially the ones that you impregnate.
Okay, somebody lied on them. Okay, I heard stuff like that and happened before, but I didn't let that really, like, leave my thought. It was more like, I don't have kids around you, so I'm good. But then it was just like, these his kids, and I can't tell y'all what to do, because y'all been dealing with this man 10 plus years. So it ain't like I'm new to y'all. I can't just sit here and be like, hey, you a pedophile.
Trigger warning.
I'ma just fall in line with the ladies that was already doing what they was trying to do, or CPS, and say what they saw.
So did he call CPS?
It was people in her family that was trying. They weren't none of the ones that live there.
You hear? People was trying, but it wasn't none of them the ones that lived there. Hmm.
Wow.
And why was the kids doing as they please? Kids out at 12:30 in the a.m. That's crazy to let. He said he let her do anything they want, but I'm not sure what exactly that mean. And I know that her one of the kids was accused of being like Jarvis.
So at this point, y'all just roommates. Y'all not.
I'm fine with that. I can handle my own. And when the shit get serious, because I feel like that's where it's gonna go. That's when she can find her somewhere to go. Because I'm not gonna be staying with a person that either can defend a pedophile or use part
Trigger
of
warning.
Or whatever the case may be. You let your daughter get in that situation and not care. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to be with a person like that.
Let a daughter, right? He talking about Marquita's daughter get in the situation and not care. Was he around when that happened?
Well, you really.
If it take too long, I will find me somewhere. Right? God always guides me in the right way.
You find
I feel
another
like he set me here for a purpose, and this is probably the moment of me just to shed a little light on who I know is telling the truth. And when you was playing my man's or baby daddy, everything he was saying is the truth. He's speaking nothing but facts. And I've literally been at that house enough to be like, yeah, I know he's speaking facts because I seen this guy. I know for a fact that I don't like the guy, and I used to be in the back playing the video game, chilling in my so-called girl room, chilling, playing the video game, and then I hear his voice. I know he don't.
Did he just say he used to be in the back playing a video game? This at a net house. This at a net house. Him and Jarvis in this woman's house. Right? How do you have two strange men living in your house and they swinging balls in your house? Like, what?
Like, so I would get up purposely just to show my face. Like,
see?
I'm here.
Swinging balls.
I know you don't like me. That's how I know. You be in the house. You be in the house so much. Now, all that extra stuff that he was doing, I didn't really see that because I really was minding my own business. It really wasn't my house to be in, for one. You know, so I would go where I knew I was belong. Was in my girl's room.
In my girl's room. So how long do y'all think Annette was allowing her twins to have boys over? In this case, a grown-ass man, but it made me wonder, like, from when they was younger, because we know that Jarvis was around. Now, Shannon admits to 19, but she had a kid at that age, which means she was with him prior to, and the original age was 16. So, yeah, this fall on Annette a lot when you go back. Who was allowing Jarvis in the house at that time? Like, they was living at home. Then, of course, they was living at home then. They was teenagers and still living at home as adults and can bring men over. That started young. Like, most mothers would be like, you ain't shacking up in my house and definitely ain't about to move no dude in on top of my CPS kids and your kids and everybody kids. The same house she said Jarvis didn't come to. Look at that. Exactly, Debo. Exactly. Lying. He don't come over. He don't be in my house. He'll go talk to her outside and then turn around and say that he picked him up to take him to the shop. Make it make sense.
She, invited me. So I would kind of mind my business on that. But after a while, we got into it to a point where I was just trying to be there so you would get annoyed with me and then leave.
Now, I don't know, okay, so he did say they was together over a year, but I don't know the date. I don't know when that happened to her daughter. I don't know when that happened. Because her daughter was the one that was on Marquita's daughter I'm talking about. I don't know when that happened because I didn't even know about her until I heard that some kids was on the stand or whatnot for the hearing. I don't know.
Which was kind of happening. Because I ain't like him at all. My phone about to die. I need to hurry.
Why didn't he like him? What I want to know.
So did you get along with the grandma, or have you ever met the
in her eyes, she would probably say yeah, but no. I'm not the type of grandma I would ever get close to and be like, hey, grandma. She has a weird, evil side to her. And literally, I painted the first house. I painted her first house like a lot of rooms. Didn't get paid for it, nothing. It was more of a, you're a man, and that's what a man needs to do, or whatever, being that you're handy.
Well, and plus she was living in her house, and I wonder if they was paying rent. If I had to guess, I would think that Annette is gonna collect money on anybody that's in her house. But then again, I don't know. She might just want them in there just to terrorize the children. I don't know. You know, that don't make no sense. So she made him paint the whole house. He said it had a lot of rooms, and she ain't pay him a dime. Shout out to Angela Reddick. Welcome in. Grandma didn't care. She was getting her Bengay bottom grease. That's what I said. That's the requirement. Long as you grease up my mama, we good. She'll let you move in. You just gotta, hit it a little bit. She don't ask for much.
It was like that, but I didn't really trip at the time because I'm nice. I got you. I painted it. I ain't trip. But she's money hungry. Anything she can cut corners, she would do.
Money hungry, cut corners, anything she could do. A evil side to her. We all can see it. You could see it in court. And then even when she got to the part about not messing with her daughter, I don't deal with my daughter. And then I can't believe I didn't put all that stuff in here, because Shannon, it was a text of her talking about it's time for us to start back talking about her bald-headed self, talking about her sister. And I'm just like, so it sounded like the mother had a problem with her, with NAZIYAH's mom. And then the twins was allowed to disrespect her too, because they didn't like her either, I guess. That's so weird. And then in one of these pictures, the mother, which that's NAZIYAH mother on the end, that is Roxy's mom in the middle. And y'all know Granny Deers right there. But in one of these messages, the sister said that she felt like Kirk Franklin of the family. And Kirk Franklin, I remember, I don't know what part she talking about, but the part that I can remember about Kirk Franklin is that his mother didn't tell him who his dad was, right? She lied to him about who his father was. And so I don't know if that's the part she talking about to make her feel like Kirk Franklin, but I had that too, and I don't even know, man. I got it somewhere. But yeah, that other live is what threw me off. So let me just go through these screenshots right quick while I'm looking. So we talked about this, that Cordell literally has the same charges on his record as Jarvis. And right here, they charged him with, homicide, all that right there, same thing. And they, as of November 1st, 2024, which is when he had his hearing. So I don't know. They need to tell us something about that. That's the sister. Them, I just want to go through this because I'm about to take these out. Now this is Florentino. We got a video of him going in, defending his mother at all costs, dressing his sister for the prime homecoming or whatever they had going on. I don't know which one of them that is. Then this right here, these events was when they graduated in 2011. We already showed this picture with Roxy and NAZIYAH right there, even though Roxy, they were saying that she had never wouldn't know her in person, but she'd been around her at some point. But of course, she was a baby. This is NAZIYAH's father, who has since passed away. And I had a video of him talking a little bit too. He didn't even know what to say about his daughter because he didn't know her. He didn't know her. He just said she's a sweet child, and you could tell that he really was trying to remember her and remember anything, but he couldn't. I'm gonna see if I could pull that up too, but I'm gonna let's do this.
And you said you met with Miss Annette Harris on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's of January 2022?
January, yes.
That was early in the morning?
Around between 11 and 12.
And you said you met with
school starts at 7:30, so I got there at 7:30. They got there about, I don't know, maybe 8. School starts at 7:30.
So she said 8 o'clock, and what he said, 11 or 12. Which is it? And who do y'all believe? That was the poll.
In her classroom, does she have a locker or a cubby or anything where she stores items?
I can answer that question.
So did you do anything else in regards to investigating?
No, I did not, because I was getting ready to retire, so I was done.
And how long did you stay involved in the investigation?
That day.
Okay.
If someone else's investigation would have took over, besides me, because once again I was leaving, but I gave all the information that I had along with my run sheet as well. So.
And are you aware of what happened after that?
No.
Okay.
In her classroom, did you speak with the teacher who was in NAZIYAH's classroom on the 9th of January?
No.
Did you speak with any of NAZIYAH's known friends?
In the investigation, yes.
You did. Who did you speak to?
I can't recall that.
Did you speak with the teacher who was in NAZIYAH's class?
Well, I can't recall that. I don't know who the hell. And the shrugging of the shoulder meant I don't give a damn. Like, I don't know. I don't care. No. Ugh. Annoying.
And then all that food, like, you got the refrigerator locked up. I understand you got 2 refrigerators, and one is a deep freezer, but it looked like a refrigerator. And then she got like a den that's in the back where you got like certain foods that don't need to be really in the refrigerator. You got that locked up. But I'm not saying the kids don't eat, but you be having hella food. But you'd be mad at the kids if they do eat something. And
that's why they want to go to school to have breakfast, because they hungry, because she got everything chained up. And she ain't breaking no chains on that refrigerator. Not one.
Let them eat that stuff, because a lot of the times some of that shit go bad. You just letting it sit.
I wonder if she had the pantries locked up. I mean, she had the refrigerator.
Basically, the den is the pantry. It's like nothing but food in there. Food, just a bunch of food in, and it's like in the room. Like it would be the den, like where you can set up a TV and play video games for the little kids or some shit. A little small little room, but it's where she put her food, and she locks it up.
That's crazy.
But the kids eat like weird kid food. She'll make some shit sometimes that's okay. But the kids eat like some weird shit to me, for real.
Weird.
But she'll eat like steak, grilled steaks and shit like they eat good, but never really eating the same meal as the kids. Like hook the kids up to.
That's crazy.
Well, are you gonna be okay after this? Cause
yeah, I'm gonna be fine.
I don't want you to tell too much. I mean, I know you still gotta, see and deal with these people.
She cracked me up because she didn't want to say too much at all. And he just put up on her show. Oh, here's the father and all that. I'll be able to put that in. Let's go.
I'm gonna be fine. I've been dealing with that crap this far.
That don't mean you gotta keep dealing with it. But he need a place to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Know my head gonna think of something else, and I'm like, that's something else I wanted to tell you, but it's so much crap. It's just like you just can't think of it all at once. Okay. But
do you think they was pregnant? I mean,
now that's crazy. At the very beginning, I was saying that. I remember her showing me a video, and it was the one that's where she was dancing in the coat or whatever. And when she kind of turned sideways a little bit, soon as she turned sideways, and I ain't gonna say soon as she turned sideways, I said this straight to Marquita's face. I said she looked pregnant.
Y'all hear that? Please smack the thumbs up, y'all, if y'all haven't. I didn't even look at the likes. Please get them up. It's 69 people in the building. We should have 69 thumbs up. Please smack the thumbs up, y'all. And so we got a boyfriend who was inside the home who just told us that he pointed out that NAZIYAH looks pregnant to the auntie. Okay. So even if they didn't know, they knew when he said that, right? Did they check them refrigerators? Exactly. It could have a whole body in the refrigerator. You don't know. Look, according to old boy, he didn't check nothing. We heard him. He ain't checked the house. He ain't checked nothing. If the grandmother had that much resentment for her daughter, then I know she didn't care for NAZIYAH. That's what I was saying. How can you truly love NAZIYAH if you cannot stand her mother? How? I don't think you can. You got such hatred for your daughter, and they saying it's built up because the man wanted her more like that. Anyway, this is my thing. This is like really twisted. Because it sounds like, because of the 2022 reports, it sounds like obviously they forced the kids into this. They set it up. They would even call, do you need them? You know, we got Shannon saying that. Y'all knew what was happening to those girls and y'all forced them to do it. So how do you then turn around and get jealous about something that you forced them to do? You know, if you wouldn't have made this happen, it would have never happened. But it ends up being the kid's fault and not the adult that allowed this to happen. It's so twisted. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna make you do this, but you bet not like it. You know what I'm saying? You good to go, long as I know you don't like it. Once you start liking it, then I'm gonna be jealous. Like, make that make sense. Like that's crazy. Anything for a male, because he definitely ain't no damn man.
Before anybody was even talking about, like, she was pregnant, I said she looked pregnant. Of course, they denied that,
but it was a conversation. It was a conversation. I wonder if anybody talked to him.
Like, I met this girl. She is skinny. She's so little. I said, why she got this coat on, and then the coat even looked bigger.
They knew.
Because normally when you petite, the hoodie will, you know, kind of sag off you, especially in the stomach area. It'll, you know, hang.
Yeah, that's true. But she got other videos where she wearing coats, and those don't look like that. But, I don't know.
So have anybody ever, like, reached out to you or asked you anything? Like,
right.
As far as, like, the police?
No, not really, because I've kind of been, like, on hush mode and just observing, hoping that, you know, the police was, you know, on the right track and doing the right thing. I was trying to see what the trial was going to be like. I was just, you know, sitting back because I thought they really was heading in the right direction on what was going on.
So he just sitting back hoping they get caught, but ain't reporting nothing. Ain't you supposed to report a crime, or if you got any type of information? But then again, this is his residence. He needed her to be his roommate, I guess. But shouldn't he have called the cops and told them what he knew?
It's a lot of attention on Shannon already, so I know that would trickle down to other people. Well,
exactly, Gina.
Be to this point, but now I'm to the point where it's like I don't care if I'm at this point. But back then, a little while ago, I wasn't trying to be at this point. I was just trying to really just observe, because I live with one and the other one comes over. So I ain't trying to be really at that point. But now it's just like something ain't right.
I mean, if you've been with both of them, ain't it hard not to look at both of them as your woman? You done been with both of them. Like, that's disgusting.
Doing too much whispering and sneaky stuff too. And I'm getting uncomfortable.
I go out every day.
Oh, wait. I forgot that has sound, but let's hear it.
I go out every day. We pass out the flyers. I read the comments. I look at this. I look at that. It's a lot. But she was a beautiful child. Just a beautiful child. I go out every.
He was trying his best to remember anything about her, and he couldn't, because he ain't been around her in years. He didn't know her. He just knew she was pretty. She was beautiful. She was a beautiful child. Now look at this again, y'all. Pay attention to his eyes when he's talking. He's really trying to remember.
I go out every day. We pass out the flyers. I read the comments. I look at this. I look at that. It's a lot. But she was a beautiful child. Just a beautiful child. I go out every day.
Right when he was saying she's a beautiful child, he didn't know he couldn't say nothing else because he didn't know nothing else. And this is them when they were out there searching and stuff.
You say you don't feel threatened but child, ain't no way.
I call myself being smart. I just do me. You ain't gotta fix me nothing to eat, none of that. I will take care of myself. Real.
He like, don't cook me nothing, don't do nothing for me, nothing. I got this. I ain't got no girlfriend no more, allegedly. I wonder what their status is now.
Man. I mean, at least
they probably was watching, but I don't even care. They be on to all this shit. They just want to be nosy.
So do you think they still be on social media, like going reading?
They don't be on their Facebook like that no more because they're getting so much hate off of it. So, but I don't know what they be on because they stay on their phones a lot. So I don't know if they really like hurry up and get on Facebook for a hot minute. But I know they got other pages because I only do Facebook. I ain't got time for all that shit. But I'm pretty sure that they got other pages on other shit, so they on that shit too. But this shit's so worldwide. I'm pretty sure all their pages is like getting some type of hate.
Well, not if they got them private, so you can't comment on anything, and they can be on them same pages, just lurking, and that's exactly what they've been doing. Angela said, I believe the relatives knew what the deal was from the start. Her baby would have been evidence of SA. Yep. And I think Jarvis and Shannon wanted her niece and baby gone. Yep. So he wouldn't get in trouble because she didn't want to raise the kids by herself. They both had something to lose, and she already knew his behavior. She already knew what he was about. So, I mean, come on. They're covering. Everybody was moving stuff for him. I feel like hell. I mean, I don't have no proof of this as far as the school go, but they didn't do what the hell they were supposed to do. And that's we gonna go to the teacher after this. But they didn't do anything that they were supposed to do at that school. The cop that talked to allegedly was investigating in the beginning, Wolf, that's his name. He didn't do anything, didn't write nothing down, didn't even talk to the teacher. Like, this dude didn't give a damn. So many people failed. And all Shannon's job was was keep him out here so he can continue to do what he did to her kids and continue to make babies for his pleasure. That's what he been doing this whole time.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm sure they're not on social media because they don't want to see this what people are saying. So
they don't seem like they really care. They're not really too fazed by shit. Like even when she missing, y'all weren't fazed by that. Y'all see how that went with some of the text messages and shit like that. Then when it became serious and it was more of a we looking for a body now, they still nothing fazed them. I was more hurt than she was. Shit, I teared up and shit. I actually cried a couple days ago just because somebody kind of made sense about some stuff, but I had to wrap it around my head like it could be wrong too, but it still made me tear up. You know, it was like this is sad.
That's Marquita's text right there. Just been spotted.
For me to be able to look at y'all and y'all don't have no type of feelings, it just make me mad looking at y'all.
He's saying y'all. He ain't just saying one person. He talking about both of them. So anything, since they do everything together, including men, hell, they do everything together. So yeah, so y'all could pause this if y'all haven't read this before. But see, this the text. Since my sister Kenyatta back home, it's time to start talking about her bald head ass. Like what? And then since y'all all seem to be struggling with this, it went too fast. Update been spotted at gas stations and liquor stores on East Mac and something else. Y'all see this? That's the message that he was talking about. So she posted that January 20. Oh, wait. I'm talking about, January 26th. East Mac and East Warren area. Please share. She was lying. And her boyfriend is telling us that. So, I mean, that right there, he should have been brought in for questioning. But remember, they only looking at Jarvis right now, or they was. So when they trials and different stuff come up, maybe they will be more witnesses to people that actually seen how they were behaving. No emotions. They don't give a damn. And that was in February of 2014. February 22nd of 2024, Shannon was more concerned about checking people about the chains on the refrigerator than she was about finding her niece. Like I already pointed out, she didn't even pin nothing about her niece being missing, but she pinned that about the refrigerator. Because all her job to do is to protect her mother. Right or wrong, she ain't give a damn. January 26th, she been spotted, and y'all know goddamn well she ain't been found or spotted. Damn. The throw off. So, like, that right there, that is not cool.
So do you know how old the grandma is, or do you?
I'm not exactly sure, but she's either 60-something, I want to say. But she did have a kid at 11 years old, though. Now, that's true.
I don't think she did. A lot of people were saying she was, I think, 40, 41.
So, what's her name? Her oldest daughter is 43. So, and she's not the oldest, though. So, I mean, that would Marquita, not Marquita, Kenyatta is not the oldest. So she got somebody older than her that was the state took over when she was young, and then she had kids right after that. Like, I mean, because I remember Janelle saying that she had several kids by the time she was a teenager. Like, she already had a couple kids, and she didn't even want to stay with their father and grandmother or whatever. But yeah, that was true that she had one at 11, but it wasn't NAZIYAH's mom. It was another kid that they don't know where they at, allegedly. And it might have been a boy. So she well in her 60s. Ain't no way she ain't.
I don't know, I just asked him yesterday, and I probably can find out from somebody else how old she is, or somebody that really would know. But
she probably act and look a little older because she done been through. But I don't know. By doing the math, they came up with like 40.
I gotta find out.
She definitely no
Then again, her oldest, now she can't be 40 because if you really think about it, she 31. Then how old is NAZIYAH mom? And who?
Right, NAZIYAH mama got to be like in her 40s or something.
Okay, yeah, you could be right.
Like high 40s.
I don't know who was running with. She was 41. And I guess they was just doing it from a twins age, not knowing that she had other kids that were older than the twins.
Right.
So I don't know.
Because I just found out about the oldest brother yesterday. Just being nosy, asking questions.
You talking about the one that called into the station, the radio station?
I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. No, they couldn't have been him because they haven't talked to him in years. The oldest one, but the one that called into the station, that had to be either Florentino.
It was Florentino.
Yeah, that had to be only him because the other brothers ain't been on no podcast or nothing. One brother is a cop.
See, now that's where I heard that she had a cop son at this guy. He just said one is a cop.
The other one just got out of prison not too long ago, maybe a year now.
Wait, they got a brother that's a cop?
Yup. I don't know his real name, but they call him Boo.
Now, he's the only one that I heard that from. I ain't heard Jernell them say that. I haven't heard that come out of Roxy mouth. I mean, have y'all heard anybody else say that? He's the one that I got that from.
He probably can't be nowhere near the investigation because it's a family thing.
He probably stand under the wraps.
Yep, had y'all heard that? Let me see what y'all say.
But yeah.
That's why he's so thin. He's got eating that good.
Look, we gonna make sure you may have to go into witness protection or something.
Shoot, I think he want to survive. Gina said he's confused as a turtle winning a race. That's too funny. But he feels guilty that he didn't get custody of his daughter. I bet he feel guilty. It just seemed like he was trying to remember her. Because think about it. He said in his interview, he was like, he hadn't seen NAZIYAH in 4 or 5 years. He hadn't even seen her. And he had been in a hospital with his congested heart failure for years. And like, it's been a long time since he seen baby girl. And yeah, he couldn't say nothing because he didn't have nothing to say. It's sad.
I'm gonna continue to work. I don't think nobody, even if somebody do try to do something, I ain't worried. God literally been watching my back pretty much my whole life when it comes to crazy people.
Oh, you think he just a security guard? Not a cop. I think he's just a security guard. I don't know, man. I literally have not heard anybody say that. It's obvious they don't care. Yep. It's just unimaginable how so many young women were so gullible, but then some of them are just like jarheads. He the only one I heard say it so far. Okay, yep. I ain't heard nobody else.
I mean, I've been blessed. I can literally say that, so I'm not really worried about it. I don't even feel like I need to leave out this house with a weapon. That's how I am.
He don't feel like he need to leave out the house with a weapon. You might need it in the house, bro.
See, I'm telling you, God just works in mysterious ways for me, so I'm just not worried. Whoever after me, they got problems. Something wrong with them.
Yeah. Look, you probably have the whole city behind you. If you do happen to speak up, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point. I feel like I know who to go to. I've been following it since day one, and Mark DeAndre and Roxy been on it for real. And I might need to have a word with them. I don't know.
And right after this, y'all, it was like the next day or the day after that they was over there. Mark D and them came over there. And he hadn't even talked to them yet, but he got in touch with them right after this.
Yeah, they probably somebody gonna reach out to you. If they chat and see a name and try to put two and two together. Somebody gonna reach out.
All I can do is make facts that I know is true. Especially with people who's already saying, I'm tired of all the fake bullshit that people coming up with.
That's my whole thing. If I'm gonna, get on a platform and speak on it, I'm gonna make sure that it's factual and source.
I don't even know what to say. I ain't worried about it coming in the room because this is what they do. They don't stay up all goddamn day. She probably gonna come back here and check to see if I'm asleep, which I'm surprised I'm not. But I just can't stop thinking about stuff, so I know I'm not going to sleep.
At night, I don't see how you go to sleep with that man. No. Packed up my shit so goddamn fast.
I probably call my pops and have a talk with them. Oh, they probably sleep. I figure something out. I ain't worried about it.
So the kids are good though, right? They're not going to school at this time. They should be homeschooled at least, like going through this.
You would think they would do that, being that they is going through a little stuff here and there. Cause
yeah, them kids need to be at least.
Her son just got into a fight basically over this NAZIYAH thing. So that she probably do need to pull them out of school because kids is heartless. They heartless. They say anything.
Either at least move school districts.
I wonder what did they say to the kid? Like, I didn't hear him say that the first time.
This is all said and done. They just need to move out of Detroit, period.
Yeah.
Because it's just a high profile to even be in the midst.
Because I could just imagine, even if they only put Jarvis behind bars for this situation, I can just imagine y'all staying in Detroit and being in the streets. It's not going to go well still. I could just see somebody recognizing you and just trying to do something just because they feel like you got away with something.
Alright, well, I ain't gonna hold you up because I know you may have to go to work tomorrow and stuff.
Yeah, I do.
I don't want to put you on the line, but I'll most definitely keep you as a friend on Facebook. You can message me if you know.
And shout out to Brittany Ann for letting him come up and telling his story, because we didn't know nothing about him. We ain't know nothing about him. So I said I was gonna go to the teacher thing. I'm gonna go to this right quick. Some more information, y'all. solid information. Oh shoot, I ain't even got it put up. Hold on, y'all.
NAZIYAH's birthday, which is in her medical records. At that time, she would have been 12 years old, and the minor witness testified clearly describing an act of penetration, specifically penis to anal opening.
Oh,
With
trigger
respect to the criminal
warning.
sexual
Goodness gracious.
child sexually abusive activity, that would be based on the text messages as well as the minor's testimony as well. Combining those two things satisfies the elements of those charges. However,
That's just sickening that he did all that. It really is.
going to count one in murder in the first degree premeditated. I would like to go through and put some of the pieces together. And we are standing here today in court on January 9th, 2025, which is 1 year, almost to the minute, the last time NAZIYAH was seen on a camera in the city of Detroit, which is on the screen now.
They do that on purpose. There's so many cases that I've covered that they make sure it be on the same date that it happened or some type of significant date.
Last time that she was seen was on January 9th, 2024 at 2:56, getting off of the bus at 3 Mile Drive in Cornwall and walking down Bedford. She was walking towards what she didn't know at the time would be Jarvis Butts and her ultimate murder by him. We take that moment in time and then go to Cordell Wright's testimony where he testified that they picked NAZIYAH up on their way back to their shop at 9000 Connor, and they proceeded with her to that location. We have Jarvis Butts' sister's testimony, Tijuana Butts, who did say that she saw a young girl with a very descriptive and distinct jacket getting in and out of that car.
So this is what they came up with so far. The closing remarks. We're gonna listen to as much as we can, and then let me see what else. There was some other stuff I put in here. Let me see. This was the picture that I was talking about Jarvis and the brother. So look how creepy this dude look. This is him obviously after he'd been out of prison, first baby out of jail, looking like look at him. Just look at him. I ain't even got to explain it. Look creepy as hell. And then this the only person that made a comment on that video. He got 13 likes. This was 11 years ago. One person made a comment that thought it was beautiful. And then I ran into this. This is, I guess, Shannon and Jernell, the auntie. Jernell is Annette's sister. They got the same father. Is what is I believe. I believe. And then this is Roxy saying, I love this picture of us. And then that's when Kenyatta said, I love this pic. I feel like Kirk Franklin. All of my family. But I mean, did Kirk Franklin say that? All my family, or is she talking about Kirk Franklin not knowing who his daddy is? I don't know. And the mother lying.
The white Cadillac Escalade. That would have been before Jarvis, Cordell, and NAZIYAH departed for Ypsilanti. We have Sergeant O'Rourke's testimony as to his cell phone locations based on cell tower information and the historical call detail records, which placed them consistent going out to Ypsilanti. And then we have Cordell's testimony getting them back to the shop. Talasha Moore also testified to seeing NAZIYAH in Ypsilanti with Cordell and Jarvis.
So this is the one picture that I feel like, when NAZIYAH's mother was younger, this is, I mean, and the face, the way that you know, the face that Naziya's making, her down to her mouth and all of that. She really looked like her mother on that picture to me. And so with that being said, I'm sure that it had to be some times that the grandmother, Annette, looked at Naziyah and seen her daughter. And if you can't stand your daughter like she act like she couldn't in court, I just don't feel like you could properly love what came from your daughter. Not properly. You know, you would want to induce some pain onto her because you can't stand her mother, right? I mean, it just don't make sense to me. Help make it make sense. I don't believe they could fully love her, and maybe that's why she got fed to the belly of the beast.
I want to talk, but
oh shoot, I don't mean to play that. Let me go back to this.
Cordell, as we know, testified that he had to get back to his house based on his tether hours by 9 p.m. And that is the last time that anyone who is not Jarvis Butts would see NAZIYAH Harris alive. From the shop, we proceed out to the Park Crest Inn, where Jarvis Butts checked into a hotel at 9:30 p.m. And Sergeant O'Rourke's testimony corroborates this, placing his phone in the area of that 20,000 Harper address at around midnight till early in the next morning on the 10th, using the data that you see on the screen from those times.
Y'all please hit the thumbs up if y'all haven't already. I don't even know how many likes do I got, Angela. I haven't looked at it, but please smack the thumbs up. We want to get to 100 thumbs up. If we can get that, and we got enough people in the building that can get us to 100 thumbs up if we are not there. So please smack that thumbs up. Yeah, she didn't love her. Ain't no way she did. And went to bed that night, and just the way that she was talking, not a tear, not a welling up in her eyes while she sat in court telling her story. She was just all nonchalant, turning up her lips. She wasn't no different than this dude.
And you said you met with Miss Annette Harris on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's of January of 2024?
January, yes.
That was early in the morning?
Around between 11 and 12.
School starts at 7:30, so I got there at 7:30. They got there about, I don't know, maybe 8. School starts at 7.
I don't know how the hell you can mistake 8 from 12. I mean, but like I said, who do you believe? Because he didn't write nothing down, and he didn't remember a damn thing. So I don't know if it was 8 or 11. So who do y'all believe more? And I keep saying I was going to do a poll and still hadn't done it. Let me do the dang on poll this time. Let me hit play.
Recapping January 9th, this is the last time that we have any sort of communication from NAZIYAH. There was, if you look at those messages that Sergeant Jones went through and read, just between NAZIYAH and Jarvis, there was consistent and constant communication up until January 9th. There's also no messages from Jarvis after NAZIYAH goes missing on the 9th, looking for her, seeing where she is, trying to find her, trying to help, as anyone should do at that time, her family locate her. There's no messages to her phone, to that Text Now account from Jarvis Butts' phone. Her legal guardian and grandmother, Annette Harris, has not seen any social media posts. The OIC of the case, Sergeant Jones, has not seen anything for a total of 1 year now. The Lieutenant George Harris, who was involved in the investigation in the first month, didn't see anything that he saw from social media or Text Now after the 9th. Jarvis Butts on the 9th, we know, borrowed Latricia Johnson's car overnight, which was unusual. He borrowed that and then again borrowed it on the 10th or 11th. We know that NAZIYAH's glasses were found in that car sometime after the 10th or 11th when Latricia Johnson was at that shop, and Jarvis Butts snatches them out of her hand. From the Park Crest Inn and from January 9th, we go out to 7 Mile and Berg. This is by far the most important location in this case, because we know that the defendant spent from 11:40 p.m. on the 10th to 1:34 a.m., nearly 2 hours in that area, in that wooded area, where the Rouge River runs through. And to give, this is from the slideshow of the scene photos that were taken at 7 Mile and Bird. This is the area where it's the people's theory, Jarvis Butts did at least one of two things, either killed NAZIYAH at 7 Mile and Bird, but at the very least dumped her body in this location. We know this because of the evidence that was found there, specifically the black hoodie, which you see in this photo here, as well as the pink bodysuit and the shoes that we confirmed or that are hers based on the picture that the OIC received from her brother. And those items were collected. The black hoodie and pink jumpsuit were tested. And importantly, Rion Green testified as to which swabs were which. This analysis here and hypothesis and result pertains to the right shoulder swab on NAZIYAH Harris's black hoodie that she took that picture in when she was in school on January 9th. The one, importantly, that Annette Harris testified was in good condition when NAZIYAH left. We will get to pictures of that, but this shows that NAZIYAH Harris's DNA is there as well as Jarvis. And importantly, this is one of the stain swabs that was positive, not just for blood, but human blood based on the hemotrace results. In the next one, we have, this pertains to not the stain swabs, but the regular swab that Rion Green testified was a wearer ID swab. Importantly here, Jarvis Butts' DNA from that swab that would have been taken around the neck of that sweater or the end of the arms of that sweater is there with very strong support. And of course, NAZIYAH's DNA is there as well. And when we look at that sweater, specifically through the PowerPoint photos that Rion Green took and put together, we can see that there is a lot of markings on this. If the court looks closely on this, and I did, there are 15 phenol-positive stain markings on this sweater. This is just the front of that sweater. And of course, the court paid attention and saw the markings or the damage to the hood that it is the people's theory would have been stab wounds or something to that effect that happened when Jarvis Butts murdered NAZIYAH Harris.
Trigger warning.
We also have to look, and it goes to the premeditation element as well as everything he did before at Jarvis Butts' actions, specifically what he did to attempt to conceal or cover up his role in the murder of NAZIYAH Harris. First, we have the glasses that he made sure he grabbed directly from Latricia Johnson's hands when shown, that are consistent with the glasses she had in the photo from the 9th when she was in school. We have the jail call to Cordell Wright to get that phone of his out of Miss Davis's car and into someone else's possession, which he testified he tried to do, but was ultimately unsuccessful. And then Sergeant Jones testified that they ultimately did recover that phone from Miss Davis's car. There's the phone call to Latricia Johnson, which was played when she was testifying, saying to get anything he touched clean, to clean anything he touched, to get anything, don't drive her car, drive his mom's car, which is important because when you combine her testimony of when Jarvis Butts took her car, those 2 times on the 9th and 10th, and then either the next day or that same day, it's important because that car is the car that he transported NAZIYAH Harris out to 7 Mile and Bird to either dump her body or to murder and then dump her body there. And we can go through all of the lies that Jarvis Butts told any detective or any officer that he testified to, but in highlighting those, he denies to Detective Mays that he was with NAZIYAH at all or had talked.
I just want to point out too, though, like how the heck could he have transported her body in that car and they not find no DNA or no evidence of that in her car? I mean, that's the thing. Like, what the heck did they do and when did they do it? Because when you're listening at him, I mean, at a time when I was listening to that, I'm like, it just don't sound like they have a very strong case. Once I listened to, I think when a lady comes up, it gave me some doubt And I mean, but let's just pay attention to everything that they saying, because this is what they have. And I'm afraid that I feel like it's gonna work out right, just because we know his past and all of that stuff. But can they really prove without a shadow of a doubt that he did unalive her, though? If they didn't find a weapon, a murder weapon, or evidence of her being transported or anything like that, it just feel like it's not very, very strong. But let me know what y'all think. Thank you so much, Angela, for the super sticker. And she said, please give the live a thumbs up. Yes, thank you so much. Please, y'all, hit the thumbs up. It is so very important, and it's so free. So if y'all could help get us to 100 thumbs up, that would be great. That is our goal. That is our goal. And thank you so much, Angela. So I'm also asking, if you want to send a donation, if you could send it to my Cash App. The Cash App is I'll post the Cash App too. But thank you so much. Either way, whatever works for you, but I would like it to be on the Cash App. Dang, where's the thing at? Shout out to Angela. Thank you so much. I bet you I woke up everybody with that one. It's loud. Shout out to Angela.
To NAZIYAH at all on the 9th, denies ever picking her up, denies to, even when confronted with the January 9th messages, he said that it wasn't him initially.
So let me see. This is what they're saying. Jarvis Butts, the cover up is the glasses that he grabbed from Latresa Johnson, the phone call to Cordell Wright to his phone. The phone call to Cordell to get his phone call to Johnson to clean up anything he touched, and don't drive her car. He said, drive your mama car, your brother car, whoever car, but he ain't provide her a car. And then he lied. The dude just lied so much. We caught them lies in that interrogation. So the lies, he denied to Detective Mays that he was with NAZIYAH or had talked to NAZIYAH at all on the 9th. He lied, and then he got caught in that lie. He changed his story. He said he didn't talk to her too. He said he had not talked to her or seen her at all. Okay, and then we find out that he seen her on the 8th, and of course we know he seen her on the 9th. Okay, so anyway, he denies to Detective Mays that he was with NAZIYAH on or had talked to her at all on the 9th. He denies ever picking her up on the 9th. He denies talking to her even when confronted with the messages on the 9th. He said he never picked up NAZIYAH without Janiyah. That was a damn lie. He told Shannon Harris that NAZIYAH texted him on 1/9/2024, confirms that she never so I guess she confirms that she never got a text from him. Or I can't see past this, but it just says confirms that she never got a text from him. How did they confirm it? But they saying that that's a lie. But he definitely said it, because I was like, oh, wait a minute. He never said anything about that. Shannon never said anything about that. And then says she, okay, and then denies going to the hotel, and he denies the relationship with NAZIYAH. So he definitely lied about all that. I mean, he definitely said all that, but interesting.
Obviously, we heard
stuff that can be proven
in the subsequent interviews, specifically on June 1st with OIC. With the OIC, he came off of that. He told Shannon Harris that NAZIYAH texted him on the 9th. She says that he never did that. And we have some of their messages in the record as well.
She says that he never did that, but he could have on one of them other phones.
He denies going to a hotel and denies going to a hotel with Naziah Harris and denies having any sort of sexual relationship with Naziah.
Because we don't believe Shannon's ass either. I'm just saying, we don't.
Even though the text now messages completely prove that that is an absolute lie. We also have his motive. We know from Sergeant Jones that he was going to be going into custody supposedly on January 9th for until roughly December, I believe, is what Sergeant Jones testified to. We know that that date was adjourned.
Thank you, Spicy.
In his interview that he had a legal issue. He said it was out in Clinton Township, but I submit to this court that that's not the legal issue he was talking about. He was talking about the legal issue he would have had if Naziah had been left alive. He had to make sure that when he was in custody that she was not going to give birth to any child of his. That's his motive in this case. That's why that's January 9th. Sentencing date was adjourned to February 7th so he could take care of that potential legal issue. He was being told consistently by Naziah throughout the months that she might be pregnant. And then on 11/27, she says to him that it's hard to do this gym shit with this baby. Less than a week or 2 weeks later, he's searching on Google how to abort a baby, how to not just abort a baby or get an abortion, but how to do it at home, how to get rid of that without any medical professional or any responsible mandated reporter knowing about it. We clearly have that motive. And obviously, Judge, one of the big issues in this case is proving that Naziah Harris is dead without having a body. On January 9th,
and see, they not even trying to prove the pregnancy part of it. Like that, the baby is just ain't gonna get no type of justice.
Vanished off the face of the earth. There is absolutely no evidence after the 9th that she was alive, that she was sending messages to anyone. Her, again, legal guardian had not seen her since the 9th. No one else, officers, friends, family have seen her since the 9th. There's no social media post reviewed by any officer to this day that would indicate she was alive. There's no messages, no further messages on text now after the 9th. There is a full and complete stop of any activity that would indicate she was alive. And Judge,
so I just wanted to point out, like, that these are the kind of things that they looking at and saying that she's not alive. And to me, it just ain't enough. It ain't enough. Would this be enough if this was your loved one? Would it be enough? But they saying that they can prove it without a shadow of a doubt. So when I asked the question, we got 17 votes. What time did did Annette report Naziah missing? 35% believe Wolf over Annette. But 47% of y'all said I still don't know, because we already seen his investigation. He didn't write nothing down. He couldn't remember a damn thing. So how is he gonna remember that time? Her, on the other hand, she's saying, so when he said his time, I was thinking, because anyway, when he said his time, I was thinking, well, he must be basing that off of lunchtime. He knew that it was somewhere around lunchtime when she came, because he ate something or something. But what would make him remember the time, but he couldn't remember nothing else? So anyway, I'm with y'all on that. I'm still like, I don't know what time she went up there, but I still believe that she didn't go up there at 7 or 8 when she dropped the other kids off. When I first heard it out, I believed that she did go late, because it just made sense. So, but I can't say for sure. I just know that, I don't know why she wouldn't go, why she's taking other kids, but hell, I also don't know why the hell she went to sleep that night, didn't report her missing to the cops. Nothing made sense that she did. So I don't know either, y'all.
I submit to this court that if that were the evidence that we had at this point, that would be enough at this point for a probable cause determination to show that she is in fact deceased today.
A phone from each one.
However, there is more than that. Her hoodie found at 7 Mile and Berg, which we just saw a photo of, has Jarvis Butts' DNA on it and Naziah Harris's DNA on it, and it is covered in blood, indicating that something traumatic happened to her. And All the other evidence shows that something traumatic happened to her at the hands of Jarvis Butts. And then we go back to his motive, was told by NAZIYAH that she was pregnant, searched all of the home abortion procedures, and was going to go into the Wayne County Jail until December, which we just passed, of 2024.
Okay, vanishes off the face of the earth. Annette Harris, legal guardian, has not seen her since the 9th. No one else has seen her since the 9th. No social media, no messages on text now. A full and complete stop of any activity. Which would indicate she was alive, I think. Her hoodie found at 7 Mile and Berg. Annette Harris testified she left with it on. Let me see if I can see this better. Shoot. No, I can't. She left with it on the morning of the 9th. Look, Annette didn't, the stuff that she said she had on a blue little hoodie, a blue sweat, a blue jacket, sweat jacket with a little hoodie. That's what I remember her saying. She didn't even identify her clothes properly. Because I was like, wait a minute, what? When did she have on a blue jacket? When did she have on? Because she described everything wrong, y'all. So anyway, let's read. Annette testified she left with it on that morning. Because she said, I think when he asked if she had any other clothes with her is when she said that. But whatever. She described everything wrong, because even on this flyer, which was the first flyer that was put out, they put out the wrong description. That's why they did another one. Allegedly, why they did another one. But this one right here, they had everything wrong. And do she even say on that flyer that she had a blue jacket? We ain't hear nothing about the little pink thing that was under her clothes. Like, I'm talking about, they had a whole morning routine where they lined the kids up and cussed them out right before school. So she's sitting there looking at what everybody got on. She's rationally not telling them to get socks, paying attention to everything. So why did she get NAZIYAH's clothes wrong that day? I'm just saying. And when she testified, they asked her, did she do the morning routine? And, yeah, we do this, that, and the third. So why didn't you see everything, ma'am? Why the hell was this wrong? Like, this is crazy. But that baby couldn't live her young life. Exactly. She couldn't just be great. She couldn't be a freaking kid. The people that she lived with didn't allow her to be a kid. He might have had a phone from each woman. I bet you they had multiple phones. Working at a car garage, you can have access to parts like switching out the interior seats and floor mats. Yeah, now that's a good one. That's a good one. But I think they would have known if it was switched out. Because the only way, but then again, I don't know. You can't get rid of blood though. Like if it was something on the seat, the carpet, I don't think the dude was that smart to do all that. But that is an idea though. He do work on cars, so that is an idea. But how do they not get anything, not a drop? The lady that's gonna get up, his side is gonna talk more about that a little bit. But it says she took a picture. Her hoodie was found on 7 Mile and Berg. Annette testified that she left with it on the morning of the 9th. She took a picture on the 9th wearing it, found at 7 Mile and Berg, where defendant spent almost 2 hours. So that's where it was found, where he spent 2 hours. Where I said he could have just had his phone sitting there for 2 hours and he was somewhere else getting rid of her. Because somebody else could have been sitting there with his phone. Who knows? Like, they ain't had no surveillance. Wasn't nobody paying attention to this. So we don't know how this happened. But I don't believe he was out there for 2 hours because they didn't find her body. So what was he doing out there? If she ain't buried no dang on where, if they ain't find her, like, I don't believe he was out there for 2 hours. I believe somebody or him was riding around dropping our stuff everywhere to make everybody confused. But I can't explain why it wasn't nothing in that car unless it was another car that he was driving that we don't know about that never got mentioned. But I guess they believe her testimony. But that's another thing. Now I do know that they have a lot of cell phone information. They got tons of that because I seen that it was a bunch of gigabytes, or shoot, it might have been more than. They had a lot of text messages and stuff, so it should still be a lot to come out. But this stuff, it just don't seem like enough to say that she's gone. It just don't. But and another thing covered in blood with her DNA and his DNA. So the defendant's motive was told by NAZIYAH that she was pregnant, searched at home for, to get rid of it, and was going to go to WJC until December. Oh, he was getting locked up until December for the gun charge.
Judge, I submit to this court that the evidence that you have heard over the last 4 days proves not only that NAZIYAH Harris is currently deceased, but also that she was murdered by the defendant, who had plenty of motive to do so, had plenty of opportunity to do so, and he did that. And I will note that the defendant in this case, Jarvis Butts, does not get a break because he successfully hid her body. The evidence to a probable cause determination, which the question is she probably dead? And did the defendant probably do that? Both questions are answered with a yes, based on all of the evidence that you have seen. I would reserve any further argument for rebuttal. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Now she make a lot of sense when she talked too.
I know how well aware the court is that we have a very serious task here. We've been here for 4 days, and at this point, we have to look critically at what we've heard and what we've seen over the last 4 days and determine if there's enough evidence by a probable cause standard that Mr. Butts committed premeditated first-degree murder. And if you look critically at what the evidence is and the lack of connection between these pieces of alleged evidence, there is not even by a probable cause standard.
Okay, so let's listen to her, and then when he come back up again, it's like, okay, that makes sense too. I mean, it's the pings and stuff that's getting him. If they didn't have that phone, man, they would definitely be getting. He could definitely get out. I don't think he will because of his record in combination with all the stuff that they found. I mean, all of the pings and all that stuff, but what she's saying makes sense too. So I wonder if he was fired. Who was fired? She doesn't strike me as being attentive with that cha-cha slide wig. Wait, who? Which one? The lady that's sitting there not talking? Shannon was jealous of NAZIYAH. She was the other woman in her eyes. They forced her to do it though. Like I said, it's fun long as they don't enjoy it. If they like it, then yeah. But anyway, I mean, she was forced to do it. She didn't know what she liked at that dang on age. She was a baby. I mean, especially meeting this dude. He had a whole lot of time with her. Look who holding her. Well, I think that's Shannon. I don't know. It could be Marquita for all I know. But if it is Shannon, look who's holding her. And look who lurking. You know what I'm saying? That's disgusting. And he met her at that age. Well, Shannon said 2. That was she was born in 2010, so she was 1 in that picture. If she was 1 yet.
To bind over on premeditated first-degree murder, there has to be sufficient facts or evidence to show by a probable cause standard that each of the elements of premeditated murder in the first degree were committed. First, there's got to be a death. There has to be evidence that the defendant caused the death of the deceased. that some action that he made or did caused that person's death, that there was an intent to kill, that the intent to kill was premeditated, and that it was deliberate. And here there is not enough evidence, even by a probable cause standard, that Jarvis Butts caused the death of NAZIYAH Harris. There's been no testimony of any eyewitness stating that they saw Jarvis Butts doing any act that could have caused NAZIYAH Harris's death. There's been no testimony of any eyewitness that they saw Jarvis Butts doing anything in preparation of doing something that could have caused her death. And there's been no admission of Mr. Butts to support that element. There's not probable cause to believe that Mr. Butts had an intent to kill NAZIYAH Harris, nor that he premeditated her death. There's no evidence of any threats made by Mr. Butts to NAZIYAH. There's no evidence of any threats made to a third party that he was going to do something or that he had a problem that he had to take care of. The issue or the statement was he had a legal matter. And Ms. Davis testified that she was aware of an issue that he had in Clinton Township and that she was the one that was driving him around to court. There's no testimony that he took any specific action in a deliberation to kill her or that in killing her. There's Google searches about legal ways to abort a child, not how to kill somebody or dispose of a body. There's no evidence that he did anything related to the Google searches. There's no receipts of purchases or anything like that. And these text messages were 2 weeks after they were, I believe, December 9th and 10th, which was, I believe, 2 weeks or 13 days from 11/27/23, which is the text message about gym class. And then there's this kind of cryptic text message in between that says it healed. We don't know what that means, but we don't know what Mr. Butts took that to mean. It doesn't necessarily mean that he believed she was pregnant.
So what did that mean? I just wonder. And I go back to like the picture that I was showing of her, the one that I showed with her and her mother. What is that? You know, like on the mouth area. What could she have been talking about? It healed. And that really stood out to me, though, that she was in the hospital. Tatiana was in the hospital when all of this stuff happened. And it just seemed like, you know, Jarvis is the connection between that.
There's no evidence of a pregnancy. We have medical records until, I believe it's October of 2023, that don't indicate a pregnancy, that she had been to the doctor in September when she originally texts or messages Mr. Butts and says she thinks that she's pregnant. There's no evidence of a pregnancy.
And see, that's what I was saying. They have no evidence that she was pregnant, and they got doctors talks about the doctor in between. Who knows? Maybe somebody could have just made her. Did she really go to the doctor? Now that kind of stuff they could check at the doctor if she really went. But did they do a test? Like, I mean, just because you went to the doctor don't mean that they're gonna do a test on you. And I you know, a lot of times that kind of stuff, if it's parents that bring on those type of suspicions, that and as a matter of fact, they kind of changed it and put the ball in the kids' hands to where they can decide certain things when it comes to that. But I don't know what the rules are. But do y'all think Annette would have been talking about let's get a pregnancy test? No. And I truly believe that's why they added that other person that they were saying that she was dealing with. I don't believe that she was dealing with no other boy. Like, not on that level. How could she? This dude was right there. He was controlling everything that she did. I really don't believe that she was involved with no other boy. I think they just put that on her. Just in case she did come up knocked, then they would blame it on somebody else. Or maybe they could have made her do something to cause that confusion. Who knows? Man, anything that NAZIYAH was doing, they knew it, and they was the cause of it, in my opinion.
She went to the doctor. We heard from both her guardian, her grandmother, and her aunt, Shannon Harris, who lived with her. No testimony from either of them that they suspected that she was pregnant, that there was any medical issues that they had to take care of, because that would
we know they word don't mean a damn thing.
Have caused them to think that she was pregnant. There was an insinuation, well, was she wearing baggy clothing? Was she wearing bigger clothing? There was no testimony that they had to go out and buy new clothes for her because her clothes didn't fit, or that she started wearing baggy clothing. She was wearing denim pants on the day that she disappeared. And
that don't mean nothing. There's some people that go their whole entire 9 months pregnant with jeans open and folded down. Some people never use maternity clothes, but she definitely was dressing different. We seen that.
No testimony that those were not pants that they had recently bought because she didn't fit into the clothing that she previously had. There's no evidence of any kind of plan. There's no messaging between Mr. Butts and Ms. Harris that indicates an escalation of animosity between the two of them. In fact, he essentially kind of starts to disengage. And so there's no written evidence that he had any kind of plan or any animosity toward her at that point.
Yeah, besides him ignoring the hell out of her when she was texting him back and forth and saying that she still needed his help. Just like a typical boy who gets somebody knocked and then you want to damn disappear and play with her head. Like, yeah, he wasn't doing nothing but plotting when he was doing all that. He was plotting. That's it. Planning.
Our submission would be that he understood at that point that she wasn't pregnant and was disengaging. Let's talk about what we did see. So we know that NAZIYAH got on her school bus around 2:45 on the 9th. She got off the bus a few minutes later, and then she was seen walking up Bedford. She was wearing at that point light color blue jeans, a black hoodie, and then a colorful coat with fur around the hood. There's some insinuation that somehow there was a plan that she would meet up with Mr. Butts. But the testimony of Mr. Wright was that they were driving around that afternoon back and forth to various auto parts stores. And I believe that they, in fact, had to go back to one kind of unplanned because they either missed something or there was an issue. And so
I didn't hear him say various auto parts stores. I heard him say they went to AutoZone on Harper, I think he said, and they had to go back to the same AutoZone because he think they forgot something. So she ain't even saying it right, but okay, we listening.
To say that somehow Mr. Butts would have known that she would have been on that street at that specific time and that they would have been there at that specific time is quite a leap, considering.
Nope, a guy that stays in Detroit clearly said that they wouldn't even cross paths, that they wasn't no AutoZone over there, so they lied. King lied, so we ain't gonna use his testimony as gospel.
They didn't know where they were going to be when, because they were doing all this driving around back and forth to various stores.
But we also know, according to the text messages, that he knew that they were supposed to be meeting there. So it wasn't no, look who I run into. No, it was a plan. And I believe that King knew that it was planned too.
Witnesses put NAZIYAH at Mr. Butts' auto shop later that afternoon, and then in Ypsilanti with Mr. Butts and Cordell Wright. And Mr. Wright puts her back at the shop later that evening. But then we hear from Sergeant O'Rourke, who did all the cell phone mapping, that at 9 p.m., Mr. Butts was actually at 13662 Wilshire, which is his home, where Angel Leonard lives and where they have kids.
And that's another thing, like how the heck they make all these movements and right around that time if they just got back to the shop 8:45. Count the money and they at other locations that quick.
So did NAZIYAH go back with him to that house? And then at 9,
or was NAZIYAH ever with them when they got back from Ypsilanti? And that was my thing. I'm like, I don't believe what I was saying was I don't believe NAZIYAH made it back from Ypsilanti, because the reason why I'm saying that is because they wanted to make sure that they had to drive far. That's why they said, so when I found out, they said that that car had been sitting up there since the 4th or the 5th. My thing is, why did they wait to the 9th? Oh, that must have been a plan because you wanted to drive, have an excuse to drive a long stretch. So that trip alone was planned along with dumping her, I do believe. That's the only thing that makes sense. I don't believe that she came back with them. I don't. I believe when they came back, he went and got that room. All that was the plan, the cover up, to hide everything. But I don't believe she came back from Ypsilanti. I don't. Whatever happened to her happened. Shoot, it would have had to happen somewhere too. Like, where would it have happened? I don't know, but I don't believe she came back from Ypsilanti. That's just what's been sticking with me. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm feeling, because why would they wait? That's the only reason why you would wait.
30 is when he checks into the Park Crest Motel. Now, we don't know who was with him there, but there is no evidence that NAZIYAH was ever there. They searched it. They took DNA. They took clippings of various things. They swabbed the shower drain, and there's no evidence that she was ever in that room.
See? Room 69. Probably the same room he get every time. No evidence of her being there. Yeah. What could he have done? I mean, if he was at another location by 9 o'clock, they would have had to have done everything prior to 9 o'clock, which would leave King with him when it happened. If he was at another woman's house and nobody seen NAZIYAH after that, like nobody, literally, King is the last person to see NAZIYAH. He said he seen her at the shop, but yeah, you know, Jarvis is his friend, the same friend that was willing to look for his phone and do whatever he was gonna do with it. So I don't know, man, but I'm really, really feeling that there's no way of knowing where the hell, man, she could be anywhere. Like somebody else said, it's other places, little cities around there that they could have ducked off, and it could have been somebody riding around in, like I said before, somebody could have been waiting in Ypsilanti with a vehicle. And they could have been in a whole different car they don't even know about. His phone could have been in the car. Hell, would maybe they would have had to ride back together. So his phone could have been in the car with King, and he could have got in the car with somebody else. Like, it's so many ways that they could have did this and have a whole nother vehicle they don't even know about, that all of the stuff happened in. It had to be something slick like that. It has to. Because what else? Like, they don't have a weapon. They don't have any evidence of it happening anywhere. So it couldn't have happened in none of them cars he had. It had to happen some other way.
We did hear testimony that the Park Crest is a known place where Mr. Butts frequents and takes various lady friends for a rendezvous.
Disgusting.
It's much more possible and plausible that he took somebody, one of his lady friends there, than somebody who he was going to kill, right? He's going to a place where they know him. He's a frequent flyer there. And is he going to take somebody there where he would later, before he was going to kill them? That makes no sense. That is not logical.
It do when you're talking about a pred. But if it happened in that room, they would have known. They would have had evidence of that. You can't get rid of blood. I'm trying to see, how didn't they have a transfer of anything if he was the one that did it? Like, I mean, they haven't told us any evidence that any results of the evidence though. But if they had anything, they would be using it. So I don't know, man. This is mind-boggling.
We heard then that after Mr. Butts left the Park Crest Motel, he went to 4 Alexandrine, which is Midtown, so kind of across town. And that's where his other girlfriend, Najeen Rushing, lives. So did he take NAZIYAH with him there to see Miss Rushing? And he stays there for a while, I think, according to Sergeant O'Rourke's mapping. And then we hear that he is at 7 Mile and Berg on January the 10th at 11:40 p.m. for over an hour. That's almost 24 hours from when he initially, it's beyond 24 hours from when he initially is with NAZIYAH, or when he's last with NAZIYAH. And so it's illogical to think that he was driving around with NAZIYAH, visiting all of his girlfriends, or if he had done something to her previously, that she was in the car with him while he did that. And in fact, they took a cadaver dog around the car and didn't find anything. And they tested the vehicles, all of his vehicles, every car that he drove, for DNA, for any sign that NAZIYAH had been in there, and they found nothing. And the call to Miss Johnson asking her to wipe down.
Man, this dude is sleeping in court. Now, I mean, I didn't pay attention to him before, but he is literally sleeping in court, sir. I mean, this dude is fighting to keep his eyes open right now. He literally just like leaned his head over and kind of opened his eyes. Look at this man. Look. He out of there. This dude is snoozing. Do you care, dude? Do anybody care? Seriously, look at him. About to fall out his damn seat.
Visiting all of his girlfriends, or if he had done something to her previously, that she was in the car with him while he did that. And in fact, they took a cadaver dog around the car and didn't find anything. And
he's sleeping. Jarvis over there writing. He ain't stopped writing the whole time. Did y'all notice this man was over there asleep like that? How the hell you representing somebody and you over there asleep? I wonder if Mr. Lazy Man was fired from his job at the school because he was working at the court during the hearing. Who you talking about? That man, Wolf? His lazy. He retired. He was retired the day that they gave him that case. That was his last day. He was like, that was his first and last day on the case because I was done. But he working at the court, so no, he should have got fired. But no, I guess that's just how they work in Detroit. It must be a requirement. They might have given her to someone else. Oh my God, yes, I said that one in the beginning, and it kind of left me. Now, in the beginning, I was like, why? Who would want, like, people like him? They want to keep children. So why would they get rid of two perfectly fine kids? You know what I'm saying? So that was the other thing. And that's another thing. I'm like, is it enough to say that she's not here? I mean, because all the stuff they named, if you take her phone away from her, then she don't have access to none of the stuff that they saying. And then, I mean, the school, we don't even know if she missed school or not. Since they reported her, I mean, since they signed her up the date that said she was there when we know she was missing. So, but this dude right here is knocked out.
The vehicles, all of his vehicles, every car that he drove, for DNA,
Wake
for
up.
Any sign that NAZIYAH had been in there, and they found nothing.
Look at him, y'all.
And the call to Miss Johnson asking her to wipe down the Sentra that she used that he had borrowed is kind of irrelevant because she testified that she didn't do it. That she did nothing based on what he called to say, and they still didn't, nothing was found.
She sure did. He didn't give a dang.
We heard about a
her
pink
or nobody
jumpsuit
else
that was found. We didn't hear any testimony that anybody saw NAZIYAH wearing this pink jumpsuit. She's not seen wearing it in any video. I don't believe that anybody even identified it as being hers. I don't believe there was any testimony from either Annette Harris or Shannon Harris stating, yes, we recognize that pink jumpsuit.
I ain't heard nothing about that pink jumpsuit, and I really want to know myself. Like, how can we pin that on him? Listen, how can we pin anything on him that they didn't say was her stuff? Like, I'm talking about down to, well, the DNA on it, yeah. But down to the description of the clothes and the reason why they didn't come and get the shoe and all that. Oh, well, that ain't the description that they gave us, so we ain't gonna look at it. You know, and then come to find out that's her shoe. So explain, why ain't nobody asking Annette them to explain why did y'all say she had on this and that's not what she had on when y'all know exactly what she had on, even in court saying the wrong stuff and we looking at pictures. So are we not to believe our lying eyes? Are we to believe Annette and her daughter? Like, no, this girl didn't have on this stuff that they said she had on. Let's read it again. Oh, wait, I need to be over here. So, I can't even see it over here. Is this moving? Okay, so what time did Annette report NAZIYAH? So, okay, I'm gonna end this poll. Thank y'all for the 28 votes. It says, what time did Annette report NAZIYAH? Wolf time was 11 or 12 p.m., but I just took the latter. Annette time was 7. She said she got to the school about 7:30. They got there to her about 8 o'clock. She talking about when she was dropping off the kids. So I mean, yeah. And so 43%, we still don't know. We don't know. And we sure that the school don't take no records, not accurate anyway, since they like to report people that they there when they not. So anyway, let me hit play.
That's something that NAZIYAH wears.
Blue and white nights.
When did she have it?
Yeah, when? When was she wearing a pink jumper? Was it under
There
her
was one
clothes?
blood stain on that jumpsuit. And the testimony from the forensic analyst, Rion Green, was that it was such a small stain that she was afraid she would consume it if she did additional testing. She tested it once and couldn't do any follow-up testing or confirmatory testing because she was afraid they were going to consume the sample.
Exactly. So how did we get so much blood on the outside of a jacket, but not on the undergarments that was closest to her? That don't make sense to me unless they planted that there and just put it there. But one thing that stood out about that pink jumper, I remember them saying, is that it wasn't as weathered as the jacket itself. So as it wasn't even sitting out there as long as the jacket. There
was also no statistically significant support for finding Mr. Butt's DNA on that stain sample from the pink jumpsuit. And there was no statistically significant probability that his DNA was on the jumpsuit at all, that he had had any contact with the jumpsuit. And they took a lot of swabs of that jumpsuit. I believe the number was that forensic analyst Anderson testified to, that it was 24 trillion times more likely to have originated from 2 unrelated unknown contributors than Jarvis Butts.
2 unrelated unknown.
And we heard about the black hoodie. And
that's crazy. That's crazy. Let me take that back a little bit.
Significant support for finding Mr. Butt's DNA on that stain sample from the pink jumpsuit. And there was no statistically significant probability that his DNA was on the jumpsuit at all, that he had had any contact with the jumpsuit. And they took a lot of swabs of that jumpsuit. I believe the number was that forensic analyst Anderson testified to, that it was 24 trillion times more likely to have originated from 2 unrelated unknown contributors than Jarvis Butts.
And you know the thing about
that
is
about the black hoodie.
Who else DNA? Like Jarvis, the only one on trial, so they didn't test that against nobody else that's involved, family or anything. I'm assuming.
Black hoodie was significantly more weathered than the pink jumpsuit. We heard about that from the Border Patrol agent Barnes and other folks that came into contact with that sweatshirt, that it looked like it had been out in the weather much longer. And we don't have an explanation for that, but those appear to be tears in the top of the hood. They don't appear to be stab wounds, and they certainly don't appear to be bullet holes.
So how did the anything get more weathered? Well, I remember the border patrol guy saying that he found the jumpsuit balled up. Like, I mean, it was like, it wasn't out like he laid it out, but it was kind of, I think he did he say it was balled up? I know he said the shoe was inside the pink jumper. One of the shoes, because it would have had to been a shoe that was out in order for Roxy and Mark to see a shoe if the other shoe was inside of a pink jumper. He's just doing the bare minimum representing this dude. He fighting harder to keep his eyes open than he is for Jarvis. Man, this dude is just, he out of there right now. He about to fall out that chair. Look at him. Look at him. Somebody should pay him to keep his eyes open right now. I wonder how many people then fell up out that chair in court.
There's weak support for conclusion that Mr. Butts was a contributor to the stain on the swabs of the black hoodie.
It's still disrespectful to sleep in court. Where the judge at? Wake him up. This dude is crazy. NAZIYAH's name has lots of positive connotations throughout many different countries, like abundant lighter bringer miracles. Poor baby thought he cared. They might have given her to someone. Yep. I wonder if I read all that. I wasn't anywhere. He wasn't anywhere near being a man. Exactly. Her entire look changed. Yep. I mean, dang, her entire look, if you talking about NAZIYAH, every time I look at a different picture, it changed.
The only real support for any DNA on the black hoodie was on the non-stained part. And there's testimony that Ms. Harris was wearing that hoodie on the 9th, that she was in Mr. Butts' Escalade when he and Mr. Wright picked her up after seeing her walking down Harper, that they were in the car driving in up to Ypsilanti. And so the possibility that his DNA got on this non-stained part of the black hoodie is not evidence of premeditated murder in the context of all of the ways that we heard somebody's DNA can get on a piece of clothing. And I kind of talked about this, but we heard testimony that Mr. Butts drove both a Cadillac Escalade and a Nissan Sentra on January 9th and January 10th. There's a lot of pieces of those cars that were tested. Trunk carpet from various areas in both cars, the driver's floor mat, the driver's seat, the door handle, trunk speakers, the trunk frame. All of those things were swabbed for blood and nothing was found. We heard about a school ID card that belonged to NAZIYAH. We heard Valerie Smith testify that she noticed it at some point in February, maybe a month or so after NAZIYAH was last seen, and that she decided to pick it up 2.5 weeks after she first spotted it. But she was pretty clear that she only noticed it about 2 weeks before, but that she looked at it every single day. Seemingly, if it had been there before then, she would have noticed it. When did it get there? We don't know. There was no evidence. There's no testimony as to that. And there was no other evidence found in the 7 Mile and Greenfield area, and there's no evidence that Mr. Butts was there. We talked a little bit about the medical records, but all they tell us is that NAZIYAH Harris didn't have a life-threatening condition as of October 24th. They don't tell us anything about her physical condition between the 24th and the 9th, and they don't tell us that she was pregnant. They're just not relevant, except for the fact, I guess, that they don't tell us that she was pregnant, and she was there on September the 27th, according to her text messages. What we haven't heard in the last 3 to 4 days is anything about a murder weapon. We've heard that they collected guns, but we don't know if any of them actually operated, and they tested them for DNA, and there was nothing found. When did those guns get taken from a house? When did they get put back, if any of them had been used? And I mean, we just simply don't have any evidence as to whether they were even touched by Mr. Butts. But certainly there was no DNA from Ms. Harris on them. And If one was to use a gun to bludgeon somebody enough where they break the skin and bleed, there's going to be DNA on that gun. If somebody is shot at close range by a gun, there's likely to be DNA on that gun. They found no DNA on a gun. There was initially testimony about all these knives that were found. And then when Mr. Riggins did a little bit of digging, well, one of them was a butter knife. One of them was rusted and under a seat and looked like it had been there forever. There's only one knife that they were actually interested in. They sent it for testing and there was nothing on it. And we know that they can test for blood even if something has been wiped clean, because they do that. And in fact, they did that in this case.
So what do y'all think about
blood
that?
on anything that the prosecution is positing could have been a murder weapon.
How the heck did he do all this and nothing? I guess it's easy to do it if you do what I'm thinking that they did. It was definitely planned well in advance, and I think everything happened out that way. I really do. He got rid of everything. Wherever she is probably where the weapon is at. What the heck, man? It's just so mind-boggling. Welcome in, Princess. And Gina said, yes, it aged that baby. Man. Y'all, please smack the thumbs up if y'all haven't. Let's go.
Motive is not an element of premeditated homicide. There's evidence that Mr. Butts and NAZIYAH had a sexual relationship. And we are, at this point, not contesting the body over on those counts. That would explain why Mr. Butts would not want to be honest about why he was with NAZIYAH Harris.
I definitely don't see him walking free. I don't see him walking free, but I hope not. I mean, I've never sat in y'all know, what's his name? OJ. During that trial, a lot of people seriously felt like he was guilty and he got away. I've never reported a case like that, or followed a case where a person got away when I felt like he should have got time or anything. So I don't see this dude walking free. And I hope it don't be nothing crazy that we could have a mistrial in any kind of way. I think that his record helps. The other cases that he has, he's not getting free at all. He ain't getting free, but not at all, because he got 2 more trials after this one. So, and they alive. So, I mean, the fact that he did this is enough time. He's gonna get enough time, but for these specific charges, I don't know. I think they proved premeditated because, the judge said that he was looking this stuff up from November or December, and he literally, she said that he was trying to perform a home abortion and he took her out. He decided he just ended up doing that. He panicked, and so it sounded like they got the premeditated with the looking up stuff and all of that, but they don't have the solid, the body, the weapon, all the weapons. He had a bunch of weapons that they found, or other people in the cars and stuff, and nothing. It could be, like I said in the beginning, it could be another person just like him. It could be they got underground stuff. You know what I'm saying? We heard the one chick that was talking about Diddy. I can't think of her name, but her mom and her living in a car and all of the stuff. And she talked about the underground, how they got everything going on down there. I mean, but they're saying, without a shadow of a doubt, they're saying that she's no longer with us. So that's why I keep going here, trying to figure out what happened to her, and not really entertaining too much that she is alive, because they act like they know. And we ain't gonna know what they have until the trial actually began and all of that stuff. But I mean, completely. Is somebody else gonna come in and make it make sense to say, okay, we got this blood, which it don't seem like enough. It just don't. Just blood alone without tissue and bones or nothing. Like, I don't know, man. This is gonna be interesting to see how they do this.
That would be enough to make somebody want to lie about their whereabouts or their connection to somebody. There's no evidence that it went any further than that for him. No evidence that he had been confronted by anybody about a sexual assault. No evidence that he was being threatened by NAZIYAH to expose him or get him in trouble if he didn't do something that she wanted him to do. By the time January 9th rolled around, they weren't really speaking that much. She was, in those text messages that we heard, getting frustrated with him for ignoring her. But never once did she say, well, if you don't talk to me, I'm going to tell everybody what we've been doing.
And this is what I'm talking about, where he's a child. He sit up here and he knew what he did. And then as soon as she get pregnant, you want to disappear and act like you gone. You don't want nothing to do with her. Come on now. His goose is cooked this time. If they let him go this time, they need to sit in there with him. Exactly. He don't need to ever see the light of day again. And he shouldn't have never been let out before. These people never change. I ain't never heard of one that changed. You have to cut it off and they'll still use something else, okay? So if his goose ain't cooked this time, they need to be going in there with him. And they may need to offer a nice chunk of reward money to see who comes out of the woodworks. Man, I mean, because it just don't seem. I'm putting myself in a family. If it was my loved one, this wouldn't be enough for me, and this is also why I believe that the family is feeling this way. Like, because they were trying to plan the memorial and all of that stuff, and the family wasn't having it. They saying that they want to wait until after the trial and all of that because she could still be alive, even though they allegedly we heard Kim Worthy say that we can prove that she's no longer with us. So, but it just don't sound like we should be hearing all that proof right now. It ain't strong to me. Wouldn't y'all want solid proof? This dude, he done slept the whole dang on argument.
So there's a complete lack of any motive for him to respond in that way.
The crazy part, the part he should have been paying attention to all of it, but God.
And I would point the court to a case. It's called People v. Fisher. And it's 193 Mishap 284. It's a 1992 case. And I've got copies.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about this. We're going to move this right along.
Got it.
It's a waste of time to even talk about that. We ain't going there.
I'm talking about People v. Fisher that Ms. Quick just referenced. And it is important to note that this case is distinguishable for the following reasons. One, we're talking about a different standard. This was a trial issue, a directed verdict standard, where the court is saying at trial beyond a reasonable doubt. First of all and foremost, it's distinguishable for that reason. Secondly, though, the court in Fisher said, in this case, there was no physical evidence such as bloodstains or a weapon linking defendant to Joyce's death. In this case, we have bloodstains. We have bloodstains on the hoodie that was found at 7 Mile and Bird, where the defendant spent 2 hours on the night of the 10th going into the 11th. That places them together in the same spot and is very strong evidence that NAZIYAH Harris is in fact dead. Secondly, though, Judge, having dealt with People v. Fisher, Ms. Quick talked about the 9th and 10th, that no one saw the defendant with NAZIYAH for that day going into the 10th and into the 11th. However, we heard from one of his significant others or girlfriends that he was secretive, that he didn't want anyone looking at his phone. And we certainly know that he knows how to keep different women and or girls away from each other. For example, I believe it was Shannon Harris that testified that she was familiar with an address of Outer Drive in Belfort, but she had no idea other than the fact that she would pick the defendant up there at different times. We know through other testimony that the defendant was dating someone that lived there. And with respect to Ms. Quick saying that NAZIYAH never threatened him, never did anything, I'm not sure if this one text message was highlighted, but
I go out every day. We pass out the flyers. I read the comments. I look at this. I look
at 23 minutes and 23 hours and 37 minutes UTC time. NAZIYAH said to the defendant, "When I see you, I'm a fuck you, tell you regret not answering my calls," which I would submit to this court as a threat. And then just over a month later, she says she goes missing at the hands of the defendant. And Miss Quick also talked about the driving around that Cordell and Jarvis were doing and how it was an unplanned meetup with NAZIYAH on the 9th. However, that may be true from Cordell's perspective, because he wouldn't have known what Jarvis's plan was at that time. But clearly on the 9th, send okay if you've seen the message so I can delete your number. And then the defendant's response, okay. And Jarvis was the one driving per Cordell's testimony. Now, Ms. Quick also talked about the knives.
She over there
and
whispering.
How the knives.
Wait, hold on. We're going to get back to that. I want to see what other things I got in here.
I go out every day. We pass out the flyers. I read the comments. I look at this. I look at that. It's a lot. But she was a beautiful child. Just a beautiful child. I go out every.
Okay, that was the one that I was trying to get it over.
Of 20,000 Harbor. You're assisting in the investigation, take you to that location.
Yes.
And what is that location?
Park Crest Hotel.
Okay. And do you recall when about you went there?
Sometime in February.
Okay, and it's in 2004, 2024?
Yes, ma'am. We spoke to the clerk that was on duty at the time, and we requested the ledger for January.
Okay, and what is it that you received?
There was a sign-in sheet filled out by Mr. Butts.
Who is it that checked out a room?
Jarvis R. Butts.
And is there an address associated with that?
Yes, there is.
And without reading the numbers of the address, what street is that on?
Wilshire.
Of 20,000 Harbor. You're assisting.
So November 2nd, 2023 is when she got into it with this person. Tell me, why did they file it on 1/11/2024, 2 days after NAZIYAH went missing? Why did they go press charges on this girl 2 days after NAZIYAH was missing already? If it happened in November, why didn't they do it in November? Why they wait? Now, NAZIYAH went missing on January 9th. Her grandmother reported her missing on January 10th at the school. And then they went downtown and did this, I guess, the next day. 10th reported missing at school. 11th go downtown and press charges on somebody for an incident that happened in November. That's shady. So November 2nd, 2023 is when she got into it with this person. It's very shady. That man, the shade don't stop with these people. And that's what Shannon them did. I don't know. Her granny went and pressed charges, I guess. And then Shannon had blood or paternity tests or something downtown concerning that on the 10th or the 11th. Doing a lot of moving around.
The defendant's car of the one that was tested came back negative, and that's true. We cannot dispute that. However, we know that that was more than a month after, giving the defendant plenty of time to clean it. But beyond that, Judge, this case is one where the defendant thought to, and successfully did, hide the body. And it's a common sense inference that if he thought to hide the body, he would also think to get rid of the murder weapon at the same time. And Judge, Ms. Quick is right. We are talking about a probable cause standard. And as I said, the question is, did the defendant with premeditation probably murder NAZIYAH Harris? And I submit to this court that the answer is yes. And circumstantial evidence, as is noted in the jury instructions at trial court or in circuit court, is just as good as direct evidence. And yes, this is a circumstantial case, but when we put those circumstances together, including the physical evidence, the cell phone evidence, which I would equate with physical evidence for purposes of that, as well as the defendant's opportunity and motive, the picture becomes very clear that the defendant, Jarvis Butts, took the life of NAZIYAH Harris to protect himself from the eventual discovery of his child that he was going to have with her, or at the very least thought he was going to have with her. I ask this court to bind over as charged with the addition or increase of this criminal sexual conduct second degree. Thank you.
Do y'all think that this is a strong case?
As far as Fisher, I agree with the people that this case is distinguishable. This is a case regarding a trial. And the one thing I had highlighted in case is the quote, in this case, there was no physical evidence such as blood stains or a weapon leaking defendant to Joyce's death. In this case, we don't have the same facts or circumstances. I do agree this is a circumstantial case, and circumstantial evidence is sufficient for bind over and even conviction. Today is January 9th, 2025, exactly 1 year, from the day NAZIYAH Harris disappeared. Before I get into the charges and the main charge of premeditated first-degree murder, I have to speak on NAZIYAH Harris and the community who failed her. And I am only presented with certain evidence. I don't know the whole story. The attorneys know more than me. The family knows more than me. But from what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total, is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given the adequate attention and love. I don't know where her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence. To Cordell, AKA King, and all the men who saw Jarvis Butts hanging out and always around these young girls, including NAZIYAH, and his 9-year-old daughter going up to the shop to clean up his shop. The school counselor who never showed up, or the person who was supposed to show up if that counselor was absent, after NAZIYAH was on the floor on the day she went missing, saying that she needed to speak to someone and speak to a counselor. There's no mention of CPS, but I wonder what their involvement was over the years, because this was not just a 1-year thing. There are text messages at least from 2022. To her adoptive grandmother, Annette Harris, whose testimony, in my opinion, was very questionable. I understand why the people put her on the stand to establish NAZIYAH's residence and the houses on Bedford and the regular routine, to establish also that NAZIYAH was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. I do believe she adopted NAZIYAH. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that NAZIYAH had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing, and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well. Text messages that show between him and NAZIYAH that he did in the basement, saying he was going to the shower, stealing her panties. He was always lurking around that house and asking for Janiyah and Zaniyah, from what I know. I even thought about the breakfast routine and saying that all the kids like eating breakfast at school. Did they have a choice? I don't know. But to always send those girls up there to clean up the shop raises questions. And how were there 2 women in that house who have birthed children themselves who did not notice that NAZIYAH was pregnant, and I believe she was, and not having her period anymore? But then after hearing text messages today, begging Jarvis for pads as if she didn't have anyone else to give them for her. And what stood out the most was when Annette Harris stood on the stand, and she learned around 6 p.m. that NAZIYAH did not come home from school, and said she looked around for her and decided to wait until the next morning to call the police. Without a tear, without emotion, or any expression of being devastated. And to her Aunt Shannon, who also showed no emotion, expression of being devastated from NAZIYAH going missing. She stated that she had friends help look for NAZIYAH, but was directed to just wait until the morning to call the police. A grown woman who likely suspected something strange going on didn't feel the need to call the police either. They were both able to go to sleep at night without hearing from NAZIYAH or having any indication that she was coming home that night. And of course, the defendant, who I will get to in a minute. I don't know who else failed NAZIYAH, but the community did. As far as the people establishing probable cause, I will focus on count 1, as it's been stated that there is no contention with counts 2 and 3. In count 3, I will amend based off of the motion and the testimony I heard that NAZIYAH was 12 and not 13 at the time that Jarvis Butts had sexual intercourse with her. The prosecution is correct. You do not have to have a body to establish first-degree premeditated murder. It would have been a much shorter exam had her body been found, but this is where we are. In the last 365 days, no text messages. We all heard today and yesterday that she was very active and frequently texted. No social media for a year. We heard through testimony that she was also active on social media. No phone calls, which she was also able to do according to testimony. No physical sighting of her by anyone. She never came back to school. No one has seen her. Medical records dated from July 2014 to October 2023 indicated that she had no life-threatening medical issues that would lead to a natural cause of death. The black hoodie found in the area of 7 Mountainburg with her DNA and blood on it. The holes in the hoodie consistent with some sort of struggle, violence, or weapon being used. And we know that there were no holes in that hoodie when she wore it to school. We saw a picture of her in a black hoodie on her last day that everyone saw her. I do believe her grandma testified truthfully about the sweatshirt that she had on and that was practically new. And the border agent who said that no evidence of animals would have destroyed the clothing or the shoes to possibly lead to animals tearing up that hoodie. The clear glasses found in the blue Nissan the day after she went missing. The behavior of the defendant when he snatched those glasses. They looked exactly like the glasses she had on in her last picture, according to the witness. The shoes that her brother described as the same shoes that were found also in the area of 7 Mountainburg near the hoodie. While this is still probable cause, the evidence all points to Jarvis Butts. His locations, him being seen with her last, the abortion searches, the abrupt silence between the two of them in text messages, and the constant lies he told throughout the entire investigation. And they were proven to be lies with text messages and other testimony. We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on NAZIYAH. It went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up. As much as I want her to be alive today, there is at least probable cause to show and believe that she's dead and she was murdered by Jarvis Butts. Mr. Butts, stand up. You've been sitting over there for 4 days with your head down, sitting between and behind your attorneys with your mask on and taking vigorous notes. I want you to pay attention and listen to everything I have to say. I have been trying to figure out for the last 5 days, you.
Hugs,
At one point, I thought you were cognitively impaired in the beginning of this exam. And then maybe you had the brain of a 10-year-old, and that's why you were doing such things. But as I heard more and more testimony, you're just the true definition of a pedophile.
Trigger warning.
Watching you laugh and brag about all the women you have with different women and the children and the girlfriends.
Thanks, Trey.
Making babies to groom them and having them in your presence, cleaning up your shop. And the little girls around you has landed you here today. You groomed Naziah. You played mind games with her. We all heard that. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed to so much at such a young age. The text messages between you two were disgusting to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that she had you saved in her phone as bae for life. Naziah deserved so much more. And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture. She did deserve love from her parents and everyone who was in her life. She was ignored, she was neglected, and you took complete advantage of that. She wanted someone to love her, and she will never know what that feels like. Your children deserve more. As much as defense counsel has raised issues on count one, all that has done is raise the question of fact for the trial fact, which means that this will be for a jury or a judge to hear at Third Circuit. I pray for the healing of all the victims and the young girls and possibly boys who have come into contact with you. As a community, we should look at this case as a prime example of how much work we have to do when it comes to protecting our children and especially our Black girls. I pray for closure and healing for all those who have been traumatized by you. And for you, Jarvis Butts, I wish you a speedy trial and that justice be delivered.
Hell ain't good enough for you, bastard.
January 16th at 9 o'clock a.m. Anything else for the record?
For the people, Judge, thank you.
Not for defense.
Well, I should say hell is too good for him. And that was Roxy crying and saying that. I just
Do the right thing and tell us where she's at, please. I'm sorry, Judge. Just do it, Jarvis. Where is she at, Jarvis? Just tell us.
sick bastard.
Judge, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect your court.
You sick bastard. Okay, so the video I want to go to now is let's listen, because originally when I did these videos, I don't think I knew that the lunch lady and the teacher is the same person. I don't think I knew that, and I haven't listened to these in a while. So let's listen at that. Let me know if y'all hear the same person or not. But the reason why I gathered this is from the testimony in the courtroom. So let's listen. Oh, let me read that. Somebody said something about him getting a plea deal. I don't think he gonna walk free. I just don't feel good about not having more evidence on the unaliving. You know, I just don't feel real comfortable with that. But Trek said, I don't think any jury will let this guy walk free due to his history. CPS failed to follow up. I think the state has a strong case just for the info we have now. Okay. Well, I definitely hope that it is strong enough, but it's just like I said, as far as finding her and saying that she is no longer with us, like any other tricks they've done. I mean, they've done a lot of tricks to even confuse us this far. Definitely had to be more people working, in my opinion. Yes, I really do. I really hope so. So no, he isn't going to walk, but they will offer him a plea to lesser his charge so he can talk. Well, see, after a certain point, they not going to offer a plea no more. And it might be after the next conference, the plea deal will be off the table. If he don't get it like before the trial and all that stuff. It's a time frame for the plea deals, and then that's over with. And I think it is another case conference in June. So they gonna see where we at with that. And I think that would be a time where he could probably get it. I'm thinking. But we'll see. Now let me know if y'all think that so this is the teacher, this is the substitute, the one that old Wolf didn't talk to. That's crazy. He was at the school and didn't talk to the obvious person. Make that make sense. You didn't talk to the teacher. How many times was she marked present and she wasn't there? I find that very strange. And I noticed that they used that saying that she never missed school. She was always present. And they marked her present when she wasn't there on the 10th. That was strange.
And what do you do for a living? I'm a sub at J.E. Clark School. And how long have you been a substitute teacher at J.E. Clark? For like 3 years.
3 years.
How long have you worked at J.E. Clark? Like 25 years.
25.
I want to take your 10-10 of 2024. During that time, and I guess the months leading up to that, were you familiar with someone by the name of NAZIYAH Harris?
Yes.
And how were you familiar with her?
She was a student at our school.
And how long had you known NAZIYAH for?
Since first grade.
So, and what grade was she in?
Grade.
8th grade.
On the 9th.
Eighth.
So you've known her roughly for 7 years.
Yes.
Okay.
That's crazy. You would think that somebody knowing her that long. She said the first grade, I do believe, first. And she didn't notice nothing, y'all. She seen her at lunch and in the school.
You said you're a substitute teacher at J.E. Clark. How do you get assigned to different classrooms?
If the teacher's absent or if they don't prep, then I go to their classroom.
And were you in NAZIYAH's class on January 9th?
Yes.
And were you in NAZIYAH's class on January 10th?
No.
Sorry, were you the teacher assigned to NAZIYAH's class on the 10th?
No.
Okay. Who was that teacher?
I don't know.
But you were on the 9th?
Yes.
And on.
So there it is right there. The teacher, the lunch lady is the teacher. The lunch lady is the teacher.
Yes. And on the 9th, was NAZIYAH present in that classroom?
Yes.
And do you remember, if you remember, what she was wearing?
I think she had a plaid jacket on and some blue jeans.
Plaid jacket.
It was like a winter jacket, but it was like plaid.
What she had on the bus, I'm assuming. But it wasn't plaid.
This is Exhibit 12. Do you recognize that photo, man?
Yeah, NAZIYAH.
And that's NAZIYAH?
Yes.
And do you recognize when that photo was from?
No.
Okay. As part of your, if you are going to be a substitute teacher, do you have to take attendance for class?
Yes.
And did you do that on January 9th?
Yes.
And is there a form that you fill out or handwrite in or take in?
Yes.
Do you recognize that document, Ms. Lee?
Yes.
And is that an attendance document from J.E. Clark?
Yes.
And is that for NAZIYAH's class?
Yes.
And does that include the dates from the 8th to the 12th of January 2024?
Yes.
Move to admit he was proposed 31.
Any objection? No objection. It would be admitted as people who did it 31.
And on that document, does it say that NAZIYAH was present on January 9th?
Yes.
And how is that noted on that form?
A B.
Okay, and that stands for present?
Yes.
And does it say she was present on the 10th?
Yes.
It does say she was present.
Yes.
Was, to your knowledge, she present on the 10th?
No.
How do you know that?
Because me and NAZIYAH are together every day. She comes to my room to get snacks, and she was not there on the 10th.
So you're 100%?
100%.
Why would they mark her there? Just as clear as day. And who did that? That makes no sense to me. How do you accidentally mark somebody present that wasn't there?
25 years. No, I was in the school for 25 for like 4 years. I've been in the field for 25 years. Okay, so what are the rules before you were to start? My J, school facilitator, a parent educator. Okay.
One person with all those different positions in the school. That's crazy. So she the one that feed her. She taught her that day. She's the one that didn't call the counselor, just told the security guard, all that. And she the same one that called into Mark D's show.
Seeing NAZIYAH almost daily?
Yes.
Okay, so even though you're a sub, you're always present.
Oh yeah, I'm always in the building.
Okay, and she comes to see you every day?
She said she was always in the building and she come and see her every day.
What are those interactions usually like?
Most of the time, me and Naziyah, she comes, she pick up her breakfast. We talk in the hallway for a few minutes. She go to class, then at lunchtime we see each other again because I have a snack bar in my room. And she usually come in there and gets the snacks up the bar.
Okay, so when you say pick up her breakfast, is that part of your role?
No, that's not part of my role. That's in school. They have some breakfast sitting in the hallway and they just pick their breakfast.
Okay, but she stops by to see.
Yes, she stops by.
Okay, and does she do that on the 9th?
Yes.
You're not regularly getting up to the 9th?
No. Because I think her teacher was there. Mr. Smith, I think he was there that day.
Okay, do you have an idea how often?
Mr. Smith is her teacher, huh? She thinks Mr. Smith was there that day. Did anybody put Mr. Smith in and ask him why he marked her
Do you
present?
that specific class that year?
Ooh. Whenever Mr. Smith was in there, I don't know, maybe once a week.
Okay, so it sounds like the school, maybe they don't use lots of different subs, or is it always you or she's out?
No, we have subs that come in, but I'm what they call a building sub, and I'm just placing that building. Okay. But like if there's 5 teachers out there, we might have to have subs.
Okay. So there could be subs other than you in that class.
Yes.
But you were there somewhere.
Yes.
So you got to know Naziyah pretty well. And did you find that she was acting at all unusual that day?
On the night she came in, she was acting very unusual because she usually just eat. I gave her an assignment, she did her assignment, she laid on the floor, which made me really suspect because she never does anything like that. And she said, Miss Lee, I need to go see the counselor. And I told her after we eat breakfast, I see if the counselor is there. But the counselor never came up to see her.
Do that make sense? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, after we eat, I'm going to see if the counselor is there, but she never came up. Well, how did you notify the counselor, ma'am?
So does that mean that you told the counselor about the observations you made?
No, I've never seen the counselor because she never came up to see us. I guess she wasn't in the building that day.
I guess she wasn't in the building. I never seen her because she never came up to see us. I guess she wasn't in the building that day. How about call her? How about go to her office? How about have Naziyah go to the office? I mean, no efforts really. This is why the judge said what she said.
Okay, does that mean you tried to ask her to come see her?
Yeah, I asked the security guard that the counselor come in because she sent her to my room, but she never came in.
How about maybe the security guard never told anybody?
Okay, so just the security guard.
Yeah.
Did you tell anyone about what you'd seen other than the security guard?
No.
Oh, y'all hear that? No one else was told. No, nothing was done. Let's just carry on like that didn't happen. But what don't make sense is the picture that we seeing that she took in school. If she was having such a bad day, it just nothing makes sense. Like all of the adults' behavior is off. Now, this teacher said she been knowing her since she was in the 2nd grade and she in the 8th grade and she's with her every day. She didn't notice she was pregnant either. She didn't notice. I noticed she noticed that she had on a coat that was plaid that wasn't supposed to be plaid. We wasn't told she had on a plaid coat. She had on a colorful coat. We got so many different descriptions of her coat. And then we got a woman walking down the street that don't have on
And
that
then
coat.
I know you didn't sub the next day, but you were present in the building on the 10th?
Yes.
Did you have any interaction with the police on the 10th?
I can't remember. On that 10th, I can't remember.
Did the police ever interview you related to this case?
They came in and they didn't interview me. They just, I think it was Officer Jackson. That's the only person supposed to be.
Do you know when that was?
I can't give you a date, but it was like in, I want to say October.
October.
Okay, October of this past year, 2024.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, 24.
And that was the first time.
Yes.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Why is it ridiculous? Because that should have been the first person they talked to. The teacher that taught her the day that she went missing. And they ain't talked to her to October.
Okay, and the only time.
They failed her. Everybody.
Yeah. Okay. And you're saying it wasn't really an interview.
Well, we know directly whose fault that was. That was old Wolf. The Wolf that was done before he got started. We already know that's why she didn't get talked to. He would have been the guy to talk to the teacher because he was the guy that was given the case first. And the first person that you would have wanted to talk to should have been the teacher. You know, how was she? What was she different? You know, like this dude didn't think to talk to the freaking teacher. I'm just disgusted with this guy.
And you said you met with Miss Annette Harris on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's in January 2024?
January, yes.
That was early in the morning?
Around between 11 and 12.
And you said you met with Miss...
school starts at 7:30, so I got there at 7:30. They got there about, I don't know, maybe 8. School.
Yeah, we can't believe neither one of them. They both saying 2 different times. They don't give a damn. Like, they got that in common for sure.
It wasn't the end when she just told me that I would have to come to court. That's all she said. She didn't even know it.
Dang.
Yeah.
Just told her she go. What? They never interviewed her.
Okay.
Dang. That's insane.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. You said in October-ish of last year, 24, an Officer Jackson talked to you.
Yeah.
Does Officer Jackson work for the Detroit Public School Department or Detroit Police Department?
I think Detroit Police Department.
She think.
And that was the first time you were contacted?
Ridiculous. Y'all hear that? She was totally, completely failed by everyone. NAZIYAH Harris's lunch lady would see her every day at breakfast and lunch, and NAZIYAH would give hugs. And NAZIYAH just sounds like she had a lot of personality. Here's what the lunch lady had to say the last day, her last encounter with NAZIYAH Harris.
Well, she was every day she would give hugs and would come in, and she didn't look like herself. So I asked her what was wrong. She said nothing. So I'm thinking it's just a typical day of a child.
Do this sound like the same person to y'all? Now, of course, she sound different in the court because it was an echoey courtroom. It wasn't really, the audio wasn't that good. But I mean, based off of her testimony, these are the same people. Unless it's a different lunch lady. But let me know, because I got it based off of that last testimony, but they do sound a little bit different. Let me know what y'all think.
Getting in trouble or something because they come to school, and that was the last time I saw her. And I've been really worried about her. I've been praying for her safety. So I don't know what's going on with the situation, but that's the last encounter I had with her.
Did you hear anything about a fight that allegedly happened between her and a girl where there was a note or whatnot?
No, I didn't hear anything about it.
Would see her every day at breakfast and lunch, and NAZIYAH would give hugs. And NAZIYAH just sounds like she had a lot of personality. Here's what the lunch lady had to say the last day, her last encounter with NAZIYAH Harris.
Well, she was every day she would give hugs and would come in, and she didn't look like herself. So I asked her what was wrong. She said nothing. So I'm thinking it's just a typical day of a child getting in trouble or something because they come to school, and that was the last time I saw her. And I've been really worried about her. I've been praying for her safety. So I don't know what's going on with the situation, but that's the last encounter I had with her.
Did you hear anything about a fight that allegedly happened between her and a girl where there was a note or whatnot?
No, I didn't hear anything about it because when they get out of school, I'm still in the back. So I don't know when they leave out that door, I actually don't know what they be doing. But I haven't heard anything about a fight. She could have had, but I haven't heard anything about it.
But you said she was off that last day, though. She wasn't her normal self when you spoke to her. She wasn't.
No, she wasn't.
Now,
Now, did you ever hear anything about abuse in the house or nothing? She was just a normal girl to you, huh?
Yeah, she was just a normal girl to me every day because she would come and talk every day. So I never noticed nothing about what was going on. Wouldn't know because she didn't seem like it.
She hid it well.
She would come in and play, play with the kids and interact, act with the kids and all that. And, she didn't act like it was nothing going up in that house.
I got people in the comments wanting to know, did it appear that she looked pregnant the last time you seen her?
You know what? That's a good question because I really didn't notice her on that level because I really never paid attention to her like that. I will only see her when she get her breakfast, she go to class, and when she get her lunch. But I've never really paid attention to that. And that's the guy's honest truth. I never, because she looked like she was just a regular girl, came to school every day, so I couldn't tell. Unless she hid it, I don't know. But I never really noticed it.
And the face that you described, you said she had this look on her face. If you could describe it, what would the look? What would it look like?
Like an upset look. Just a weird upset look. But all I'm doing is just praying for her and would like hopefully that she come back because it's just been a long ride. No one saying anything. No kids are saying anything or nothing. Nobody's speaking on it.
Now the reason I guess we was asking that because we heard something, I don't know if it's another lunch lady or what, but we was hearing something about the lunch lady was hearing that the school kids were saying that she was allegedly going to run away because she was pregnant. Now again, I don't know if there's, if you're the only lunch lady there, or if it's, somebody else in the staff that they was mixing that up with, but that was something else to be heard coming from out of the nucleus of the school. So
I don't know. They may have. I don't know. They may have. Yeah, so I'm just. Listen, man, it just seemed like nobody gave a damn. And yeah, she didn't know they could have. I don't know. But like what? Damn. Linda said, where is the norm? I can't find it in this case. I really can't. If they have periods of classes, then she could be marked present or absent in each class she goes to. Well, they not, I remember it being home, what's they called? The home class that you have, they do the attendance, and they usually don't do it in every class, but I mean, used to. I don't know about now. But I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, it's an issue that she was marked present when she wasn't there. It really was. And as a matter of fact, it was Smith that should have done that. So it sounds like it's one teacher that was in charge of that. And I wonder if he wasn't there the day that she went missing, but he need to explain why he marked her present and she wasn't there. Pray for her, hope she come back safely. Hope there's nothing wrong or anything with her because it's been, like I said, a long ride. And I love kids, so I worry about her because I have a daughter and a granddaughter of my own, a 37-year-old daughter and a 20-year-old granddaughter. So I totally understand. But y'all didn't tell me if y'all think this was the same lady. It's hard to tell, and she didn't answer the question. Like if he said, I don't know if it's another lunch lady or not. She ain't even answered that damn question. So I can't tell. I mean, I can't tell if it's the same lady, but according to the last testimony, it sounded like it because she was saying she the lunch lady and she the substitute. So, I mean, but obviously they got to have more than one lunch lady. It's usually a couple lunch ladies. But I don't know. Damn. I've never had to experience that, but I never had to experience that, but I could just imagine what the family is feeling like.
Is there someone in the school that you know of that you may have, like an administrator, have seen maybe she's been comfortable with or anything like that? Like, is the school putting up any flyers or offering support to the other students? Concerned?
Well, I guess the kids probably see it because it's all over Facebook. So I'm not for sure about if she was comfortable with them, talk to her. Because like I said, the only time I seen her really was at breakfast and lunch. And sometimes I see her walking up the hallway, but that was it. That's the only time I saw her. Now, as far as the classroom and anywhere else that goes on in there, I couldn't tell you. Say it with the teachers or anybody. Right, but like I said, I'm praying for her. It just seems so hard to believe that people that saw and hugged her every day, seen her face every day, missed everything. I mean, we could see from where we're sitting at
where we're looking at the pictures of her dancing and the visual of the last videos that she was taking. You could clearly see. Now, I could definitely give them that she probably seemed like a normal child just based off of the videos that we could see. She had the smile on her face. She was singing. You could clearly, if they even paid attention to her there, they would have noticed with the songs and things that she was singing. So we've heard from the substitute teacher who said NAZIYAH laid on the floor and asked to talk to a counselor who never came up to talk to her. And now we have the lunch lady who says she hugged her every day and would see her every day for breakfast and lunch, but didn't notice anything. And shout out to Mark DeAndre and his team over at 7 Mile Radio for doing this interview. It was a phone call last year. Yeah, so shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for the 77 thumbs up. I could have sworn it was matching. That double check to make sure you didn't take your thumbs up away. But we got 77 people in the building. Okay, 77 people and 79 thumbs up. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. And so Trek said in the 8th grade, we didn't have one teacher to mark us present. We had homeroom. That's what I was trying to say, homeroom. And then like 7 other teachers we had to see during the day. I know, but I don't remember every teacher taking attendance, but I don't know, man, but it's still not right. If she was not there, they shouldn't have marked her. And I heard that you get some type of credit for being there. Like the school itself gets some type of credit for having the kids in class. So I don't know. It make me wonder how many other days did they mark her present when she wasn't there. And it's just crazy. It just again shows negligence. Everybody that was around her, they helped allow this. Like meaning, I mean, even I'm not saying that everybody at the school was involved, but it just seemed like their actions just all made it work out perfectly for Jarvis. Everything. From the courts to CPS to the schools to the parent, the household she was living in, everybody was on board with it. Seemed like, you know, when she said NAZIYAH didn't seem like herself. Me being a mom and a grandma, I would have hugged NAZIYAH and asked, "Is there anything you want to talk about? This is really blowing me." I'm telling you. Like, I cannot believe that everybody failed her. Everybody. It just really worked out for the criminal. And yes, they get money for each student who's present. See, I heard that. Like it's a plus for the school to have these kids in attendance. So how many days? Like, because they literally use her attendance. Like she's been in school every day. I mean, they using that for saying that she's no longer with us too. And you know, they said she never missed school. And the one day that we know she missed, they said she didn't. So, like I said, how many other days have they done that? I don't trust nothing. Like everybody, like dang, even the cop, just disgusting. Okay, so we have a vote, and the poll said, "Is this a strong case?" So 13 people voted, and 69% says yes. So y'all feeling like it is a strong case, and 31% says no. Now I feel like it's a strong case as far as the locations and you know, being able to place him there and place him with NAZIYAH and all of that. And with that being said, leading them to bloody clothes and all that, that will put that on him. But it's not enough for me to say that she is gone. Like as you know, think of it if it was your loved one, would this be enough? Or would you be in the back of your head for the rest of your life saying, what if somebody just got her? You know what I'm saying? What if? What if somebody just got her, you know? So wait, I taught in our school system for 26 years, and the school officials did all kinds of shady mess. What? Wow. And that's coming from somebody that taught for 26 years. And then just looking at certain things that I see reporting these cases. There was a case that I covered in Houston, and the teacher, she looked like a good teacher. She looked innocent, all that, a black woman, and her son was PIMPing her students. And she was helping them get rooms and all this. I need to look up the update on that case since I'm talking about it, because I wonder where they are with that. That's another case that should be coming back up. And yeah, she was getting rooms for them. Ridiculous. And Miss V, another thing I don't understand is, why was NAZIYAH the only one who had to take the bus to school? Exactly. How come the grandma couldn't take NAZIYAH? Now that's the thing. She said she took her, but she caught the bus back. And that was just weird because, you know, early on, Mark D. it was said that on his channel, when it happened, they were saying that she didn't go to school. I mean, she was the only one that went to school that day. But when Annette testified in court, she said she said she dropped them off at school and then specified her too and NAZIYAH, and then she said my daughter's kids. So I'm just like, did you drop them all off or not? Like, why wouldn't you just say that all together? Like, but it just didn't make sense. So I'm glad that everybody is feeling like it is a strong case and that we gonna get a conviction and all that. And you know, I don't see him walking away, and he got 2 other cases coming up. So this dude, that's enough to keep him behind bars for the rest of his life, really. I mean, you already did time for this and it didn't make you no better. You came right out, directly out, doing the same thing. And if he met these chicks through prison letters, you know, through fan mail and all that, I'm talking about Shannon and Marquita, if he did meet them through jail, it was like dangling a steak in front of a pit bull. I mean, this man ain't even out of prison yet, and y'all got you know, all the goods for him. I think they purposely looked him up. You gotta have this on your record. Remember the first thing Mark D said when he went into that landlord's house? He said, she asked him, are you one? Asked him if he was a pet. And it's just like, the way that she asked him, it was weird to me. Are you one? Like, what? Oh, why? He said, what? You want to F with me or something? And that's kind of what I got from her asking that. It's almost like it was a requirement. Let's date a bunch of risky men. Like, let's find Ingas on a damn dating site and have them move in my mom's house. Like, what? I wouldn't. What? No, ain't no way. How many of y'all would let y'all kids move in a man, period, and let alone somebody you don't even know, and they live with you for a year and a half? Or didn't he say a year? They was together a year and a half or something, or he said it was a year before they got their place. So that mean they was laying up at her mama house for a year. That's what I'm assuming, right? And then you got Jarvis in and out. Like I said, they having pissing contests, ball swinging contests in their mama's house. Like, who does that? Who does that? The timing in their answers seemed different. The second lady seemed more quick and fluent with her answers, but who knows? Oh, you talking about the teacher versus the lunch lady? They did sound different. I'm not sure. The lady in court sounded older, but of course in court people do sound different. you know, because they trying to be more professional. But I don't know, man. But the one that called in, nobody cared enough, in my opinion. Nobody paid attention enough to say that you knew her from the first grade and you didn't notice anything. But justice for NAZIYAH. I pray we get it. But answers about her body. I hope that she's found. You know, I mean, I hope that she's found. That, and I was about to say, so the family can rest. I mean, can, you know, have peace. But I mean, so she can have peace most of all. But goddamn, who mourns her? Who mourns her? I do believe that her mother mourns her. Her mother knew the dangers in the house. And I just don't, I don't know the situation and how this happened. But you would even think that well, we don't know if her mother is talking to the police or not, but you would think that her mother would have even said something. You know, I know that it's hard for people to speak up when things happen to them, and you know, it's something that never go away. But it just seemed like if you never spoke up, the time would be now to speak up on what happened to you in that house and what you believe could have happened to your daughter and stuff like that. Like, I just wonder, is anybody gonna speak up for her? You know, the ones that know what happened to them. So, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I've been live. This is my second live for the day. And I think the first one was over 4 hours. So we definitely put in work today. So thank y'all, everybody that hit the thumbs up. Thank you to everybody that donated to my channel. And if you feel like this is good content, you learned something new over here, feel free to hit the Cash App and support good content. We need more of it around here. And so you know, reporting the real information. So we gonna get up out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. But they going down.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going. Nanny boo boo.
All right, y'all. Peace and love. I will see y'all in the next video.